Sports Radio, KINB-FM 105.3 HD season, Kingfisher Radio, Oklahoma City, KINB-FM 105.3 HD1, Kingfisher, Oklahoma City, Perry Broadcasting Station.
And good evening. Welcome everybody inside the broadcast room here at Taft Stadium tonight for an opening night of high school football scrimmage / preview style in the All-City Athletic Conference.
Absolutely.
Dwayne Doolittle, Mr. Max, along with you. We want to thank you for tuning in, stopping in. Just for those of you who are keeping track out there in Radio Land, this is an abbreviated type of deal here. We got it. If you're confused, we are too, but we're going to try to bring some understanding to confusion.
Some clarity.
Yeah. So as we look now, there are 8 teams on the football field. We're going to split the field in half. We're going to go from the 40-yard line to the north, 40-yard line to the south.
Correct.
We've got 4 teams on the north end, 4 teams on the south end. 2 offenses versus 2 defenses on both sides of the field. Then they'll flip. The defenses will stay out for 3 plays. The offense will go back into the huddle. And then at 6:15, we'll switch up and we'll do something else.
Now try saying that again real fast.
No, I'm not going to do it. So not a traditional all-city preview, but it's an opportunity for these teams to start showcasing their talents, get some reps against other players, as we're watching here on the south end zone as John Marshall is playing Capitol Hill, and their first run from scrimmage nets about 10 yards.
Yes, they are moving the ball rather well on that play. And on the other end here,
we've got Southeast and Star Spencer. So just to put this into mind, Jay Swick's walked in. It's kind of like watching NFL Ticket.
Yes.
You pick the game you want to watch, what you want to watch there. So our goal tonight is just to introduce some players to you, talk about some of these teams and what they're going to be facing as we come up. We've got a lot of first-year head coaches, new coaches here in the All-City Athletic Conference. We've welcomed J.D. Reynolds and the Western Heights Jets. His program looking to get started as he's a first-year head coach there at Western Heights. And their new athletic director who came from Oklahoma City Public Schools, Terry Long, as he's trying to get that program turned around. You've had the opportunity to talk to some of the coaches on the field.
Yes, I did.
Got some insight from Coach Harold. We called him fresh back in the day, Harold Smith, as he comes in, the Star Spencer Bobcats. And then we'll introduce you to some more head coaches here for Douglas as they come in with a new head coach. Northwest Classen comes in with a new coach. And as we're looking out here, John Marshall just has an incomplete pass there. A nice defensive breakup there. We're not going to do very good with showcasing players on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Those of you who are following along with us can stream on PPBC TV. We're live there as we look as Capitol Hill defense is now coming off of the field, and the Classen SAS Comets at Northeast, I got to say that because I'm a Northeast Viking, have taken over in defense, and to the north end,
playing against my alma mater over here.
There you go.
John Marshall.
So the defenses are out for 3 sets or 3 reps, 3 downs. The offense resets after each play, and they get a chance to showcase their talent here. So now we're looking on the north end of the field. We've got a team clad in red, and the quarterback scrambling here as he's playing the Northwest Classen Knights, and we'll get you
takes a heck of a hit
who they're playing, who they are scrimmaging at this point.
Was that Grant?
That looks like U.S. Grant.
Yes, it is U.S. Grant. And, of course, Grant now, their offense is coming off the field, and it looks like Southeast is on the field now, going up strong against Northwest Classen over here.
So for those of you who are keeping track, this is similar to pushing a rope.
Yes.
You hold on to it and it goes nowhere. So we're here. Southeast now has the ball against the Northwest Classen's first defense, and the running back has made it into the end zone, which is what we're used to seeing from Southeast as the last year they had the air raid game. So the Southeast offense here scores on their possession, and they'll reset back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, 40-yard tough run there by one of their star players for Classen. Looked really good. My goodness. He fought through a lot of defense there. Of course, now U.S. Grant's back on the field.
And they're in the offense, and we've got a false start there. We'd like to thank our officials who are coming out tonight and volunteer their time. Also, the athletic commissioner, Jim Watson, has brought these guys out as they're looking to get themselves in some type of game shape, because we go live here in a couple of weeks. And as Douglas now goes to their air raid offense and broken up there nicely by the Classen Comets, looking here out of to the south end zone.
Yeah, Classen put a lot of heat on the quarterback there. They rushed him very well.
Yeah.
He had to get that ball out of there. It took some punishment.
For those of you who are trying to keep track of what we're doing here, right now we've got many scrimmages going on where offenses and defenses from each team are circling in and out every 3 plays on the defense for the first 15 minutes, and then we'll shuffle and bring in other teams that will play each other. And then in the 7 o'clock hour, we'll go to simulated games at the 40-yard line, where each team will have an opportunity for 12 minutes to sustain drives, one team, one look, one offense, one defense, simulated game where we won't have all the shuffling of teams. And our infamous boss, Mo Prince, has brought in the A team for that. That'll be Swick and Dillon.
Yes.
We get to bring some confusion, and they get to we're mixing the cake up now. They'll get to make some sense out of it here as we go forward. So nice. There, Star Spencer there on defense had an opportunity to break up a pass there and fell short there. We'll talk a little bit about Star Spencer since we just saw them. You had a chance to talk to Coach Harold Smith.
Yes.
We called him fresh back in the day. And what did he have to say to you as you interviewed him earlier?
Well, he was talking about some of his star players, and one of the biggest differences he had this year was the summer workouts. He didn't get a chance to implement his way of doing it last year. This summer worked out well. They worked under the lights a lot because with his wide receiver and his aerial attack, they were having issues last year with the lights. But he's got one great philosophy with his team where, as most coaches do, he's looking to build that team camaraderie.
Absolutely.
With that being there for each other, there's a lot of things they do off the field together, and it's starting to transcend on the football field. But he's got some key guys out there. He's got Caleb Moore as his quarterback, a senior. Some of you all know the name. He's played elsewhere, and now he's at Star Spencer. Trey Butler is an all-around athlete, names you need to know, and names you'll hear a lot of this year, I'm for certain.
He mentioned that he was getting some looks from Oklahoma State and other schools, so he's got some interest there. Potential player coming out of there.
Yeah, him and Olds. I can't think of his first name, but it starts with an L. Mr. Olds there.
Lamontre.
Yes, Lamontre Olds. He's a wide receiver, and OSU has been looking at him hard this summer. So he's been to several camps and has perfected his craft. Mm-hmm. And so the coach is excited about it and cautiously optimistic as always, but he's excited for this season, and I'm excited for him too.
Absolutely. As we look at his roster, he's featuring several upperclassmen, which kind of brings some calm to these younger Bobcats that are coming in. Their season didn't go as well as they expected on last year. Had a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows, peaks and valleys. I guess those are all the same things when you shake them all together. But he's looking to right the storm. I know they're in Spencer in the 73084 that the Alumni Association now is coming back home and looking to embrace. They're trying to do everything right there in Spencer, a tight-knit community, not too far from here, the only Oklahoma City public school that's located in Spencer, and they're trying to bring the pride back to Bobcat land, if you will, and in the presence of Coach Harold Smith and this version of the Star Spencer Bobcat football team. As I look out on the field, there are a lot more players that are not here, a lot more students from Spencer that are not here,
right.
But that seems to be the norm here in Oklahoma City's public schools. As I scan the sidelines, I'm noticing that Capitol Hill's numbers appear to be up, which is a good sign for Capitol Hill.
Especially what we saw last year.
Absolutely.
There was about half that last year,
yeah.
And they competed very well, but how do you do that when you're undermanned?
As a sports official, I'd worked some games in the previous years, and, we always make sure we had 11. It was easier for me to count the sidelines, to make sure they had 5 or 6 on the sidelines than it was to count what was going on the field. So numbers are up. Expectations are high, and it's almost football time Friday nights here in the city of Oklahoma City. Now, I've got to put a plug in. I mentioned the officials who are out here tonight honing in on their craft, trying to get things together for opening night, and there's still an official shortage. I've spoken to several of my colleagues throughout in other states, and they're experiencing the same thing no matter what the sport. for those of you who may be listening now and you think you know the rules, this is a great time for you to go to the OSSA.com, put your application in, join one of the Metro Official Associations, go to the meetings, and you can be a part of the action, and you don't have to pay to get in.
Dang. No better place to be on the field.
You can get rid of your gym membership because you get out here on this field and you're chasing these kids around in all this heat, and they'll pay you at the end of the day. So a great time for that. We'll put that plug in for officials to be able to come out and help out here.
Yeah.
Again, as I look out here on the field, the coaches are allowed to be on the field. For this first 15 minutes and the next 15 minutes, we're featuring the ones from both sides of the field, both offenses and defenses. There's a nice completed pass here by the Douglas Trojans down inside of the 5-yard line there on a nice-looking play there. The quarterback was well protected in the pocket and had good pocket presence.
And on the other side of the field, it looks like Grant is giving Northwest Classen is giving the Grant offense all they can handle. They're not getting much this time. They've learned from their mistakes.
An interesting thing that you mentioned about those two programs, U.S. Grant, Northwest Classen, and Capitol Hill, are all featured in 6A2, in District 6A2, which is a tough division to play in. And they've got a long road ahead of them as they look to try to write their names in the books of history, as Southeast now is broken on a long run here down inside the 1-yard line on a nice run there in this scrimmage format. So a lot of things going on. If you're sitting at home now and you want to come out and be a part of this, you can get a chance to see in person what these teams have been doing or planning to do or have aspirations to do. It's not too late to come on down. I know that for a fact. You can't buy a ticket here at the stadium. You got to go online and get that and have that in hand, that verification by the time you get here. But we've got cheerleaders on the sidelines that are cheering for their various teams. Takes me back to when I was in high school and the previews. It was time for the band as Capital Christian.
Yes.
U.S. Grant has just gone on a long run and gotten into the end zone there for a touchdown. Now, this may seem like this is confusion, disorganized and all that. But the coaches now are looking because at the end of the night, we will name an all-city preview all-star team.
Excellent.
Each team will have 2 members as each coach has to vote on 2 members of their team or respective teams and a medal will be awarded to those players who have been selected to the all-city preview team.
Right.
And as I sit here and look at that, it almost seems a daunting task to be able to do that. But in the end, it will happen. I'm slightly confused by the team here in the gold and black jerseys with the blue helmet with the G on it. Is that Grant?
No, because
that's Classen. That's going to be Classen.
Okay.
I see it now. It's a C. Okay. Yeah, that's Classen SAS at Northeast for those of you keeping track there.
Yes.
So it's almost football time. We'll look at some of the other teams as we get started here. We see here that as we look at the schedule, the Red Wolves of Capitol Hill will kick off at Putnam City North on August the 25th when they go live.
Well, that should be an exciting game. That's the way to start the season and kind of see what's what with both teams.
So we're partner. You and I have a PC North broadcast,
yes,
as they are part of our broadcast and stream this year. I know we feature PC North, PC West, and PC playing each other in various games. So we'll have that opportunity to see them up close and personal.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, looking at the comments from Classen at Northeast, they open up on the road at Bethel, or versus Bethel. That'll be at Moses F. Miller Stadium on September the 1st. Douglas will open up at Star Spencer on September 2nd. That's on a Saturday game, and it'll be a 1 p.m. kick there for the Power Bowl. I believe that's what that's been called down through the years. John Marshall will be on the road on August 25th at Lawton Mack as they get ready to open here.
Well, that's a tough game. Lawton Mack always brings it.
Tough game there. Looking to see what the Bears as they're going onto the field now. Interesting enough, Northwest Classen will open up on September 1st versus U.S. Grant, so that'll be here at Taft Stadium. September 1st also, Southeast will be at Capitol Hill. So they'll be on Southside Stadium there, the Southside rivalry. We had that. No, we didn't have that game. We had the U.S. Grant Capitol Hill game last year. Star Spencer will be at Okmulgee. They're going to Mogetown to play the Tigers on August 25th. So that's with the Star Spencer Bobcat. They'll pick up from the 73084 and head south and the east to Mugtown out there in Muskogee County. The Grant Generals open up September 1st here at Northwest Classen. They'll be here at Taft Stadium. And the Jets will open up August 24th. That sounds like a Thursday-type game to me. And they will play at PC West. So the 8 teams featured here, we've given you a rundown on their first games of the season starting on the 25th, 24th, and September the 1st. So you got a few weeks to get ready for some high school football here in the metropolitan area as these teams are loading up, getting ready. As the Northwest Classen Knights are working on a busted play here, the quarterback takes off running down to the inside the 10-yard line.
Yes, nice play there. Looked like a delayed quarterback drawn up play. Appeared to be busted, but he made it look like it was a drawn-up play. You know, I watched this format last year, and I understood one thing about this. This seems confusing, like ants on a barbecue. But
did you say ants on a barbecue?
Or ants at a barbecue?
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you meant on the grill. I'm like, yeah, that would be some confusion.
That would be bad. But what I did assess about this, which is really cool, these teams are getting a rhythm they haven't faced even in practice. You know, with the way the teams are coming on and off the field, the defense that stays on, they got a fresh offense. These are the things that happen game speed. This is quicker than game speed for them because they don't have a chance to make those adjustments.
Yeah, tempo plays all the time there. Mm-hmm. We get a look now here as the Western Heights Jets have just come off the defense, and we see our first flag of the night as Elijah Green takes a pass there down the sideline. He's dragging players with him, and he stumbles and fumbles down to inside the 10-yard line, but there's a flag as the officials are practicing throwing flags as well. So they've got to get in some type of shape as we see Classen facing Douglas here in an interesting matchup, featuring a first-year coach there at Douglas, who came ironically from Edmond Santa Fe. So, for him, this is almost a shock.
Yes.
Because he's used to seeing this many players on the side on a team.
His team, yes.
But all in the same uniform.
Yes.
And so now to go to Douglas, he brought his talents there. Damon Turner, a first-year head coach there. The Trojans will feature Gary Smith, a senior wide receiver. James Greenhoward, a junior wide receiver, who's also a member of the state champion basketball team. Richard Woodfork is a sophomore offensive defensive lineman. David Nash is a junior lineman, and Chris Harris are the names that we've been able to extract as we talk to folks about what they're looking for and those playmakers they're looking to right the ship for the Trojans. The Douglas Trojans will feature on defense at 4-2-5, so almost a nickel package every time they come out and looking to contain. But if they don't contain, they got help over the backside to be able to come up for run support. And should it go into a passing offense or passing attack, they'll have the 5 backs there to be able to take there. And hopefully these inside and outside linebacker can get some pressure on the quarterback there as the defensive lineman can hold them up. Another flag here on the play. Hadn't been a lot of those as the officials want this thing to keep moving. We're in a 10-minute running clock for this first series. We're inside of 5 minutes and 58 seconds remaining. Here, I think this is the 15-second set. This is a 6:15 set. So we've changed up teams here, and now we've got similarity. We're bringing in the defensive now. The teams that were on offense before now have switched over to the defensive side of the ball, and so we'll be able to see the ones that on the defense now. And then after this break, going into the next scrimmage, if you will, 15-minute period, we'll feature the 2s and 3s. What's unusual about this is that we could see some of the starters as long as they're playing in their secondary roles. Yes. So we won't see anybody that's out there primarily the starting quarterback. He can be out there, but he can be out there in his safety position. Correct. So we'll see that playing in their secondary roles. And these schools, although they're limited on numbers, they'll have to take that opportunity to have some two-ways and three-way players. And so conditioning is of the utmost importance.
And we've got a good night tonight. It's not exactly super hot, and it's just perfect weather, and they are being tested.
Max, you must have been in the house all day. You've been under air conditioning all day.
No.
I'm looking at Swick, and I'm sweating here just sitting in this air-conditioned room looking at him down there.
Well, walking across that from the parking lot here, you get
man.
to feel it, but it's not as bad as we've seen in the past.
Okay.
Let me say it that way.
Okay, I'll take that because to say it's not hot out there is an understatement. I mean, that's just no. Hey, I want to remind you tonight's broadcast is brought to you by our partners at SSM Health and St. Anthony's, and also Super Prep. Tonight's game sponsors are Dick's Sporting Goods, the OKC Dodgers Baseball Foundation, and OKCPS Sports Radio 105.3. Thank you to our partners for bringing this to me. As John Marshall was looking out to ramp and run here on a razzle-dazzle type play, as they face now the Western Heights defense.
Right.
So I think it's only fair that since we're talking about the Bears, and we don't have a roster for the Bears, so we can't even go into who they are. So we'll
wing it.
We'll wing it. We'll say number 2. We can tell them almost any number. You're welcome to join the stream. You can see what we're seeing at PPBC TV, and you can catch the live stream. That's Perry Publishing Broadcasting TV. As I've just been handed a John Marshall roster.
Hey,
listen,
ask him, he shall receive.
Hey, can I get the winning numbers to the lottery coming in? So we do have that, and we'll be able to mention some of those numbers there as Coach Malcolm Mack and offensive coordinator Sean Love, a former John Marshall standout, I might add, is Sean Love there, as the Bears come in with a deep roster and looking to make some noise here. Quarterback number 2 is not listed on our program. Oh, there he is. Terrence Caldwell. He's a senior coming in. So he's got one more year to try to get his name in the history books at the John Marshall as they now face a non-traditional opponent. This is not a game that you would normally see, a scrimmage between John Marshall and Douglas, as these teams are not in the same district or conference or class. And so this is an opportunity for them to be able to see now as class and comments come out, and now they face their offense facing the Douglas Trojan defense. The interesting thing about this is that these two teams share a stadium.
Yes.
And so there are a whole lot of dynamics that go on here, and these teams are not far from each other, and they know each other.
Right.
All of these athletes out here have some familiarization with each other, as now we see Southeast standing on the same sideline with the Capitol Hill Red Wolves. And I've been practicing that because it was too easy to go back to the other way. And so we see all that as, again, going forward there. So a lot of similarity here. One of the first times that these teams will be able to see each other at this type of environment. These games are sanctioned by the OSSAA. So although this is a scrimmage format, these games have the same rules tied to them, associated with them as a regular game. So let's just say, for instance, someone gets ejected for whatever reason tonight.
Right.
It carries the same weight as it would have if they were playing in a regular game.
Yep. They're suspended for how many games?
Depending on what it is.
Okay.
They're going to miss the rest of this game, and so we certainly don't want to do that.
Right.
Eligibility rules and requirements are still in place. As the look to my left here is Northwest Classton Knights now are on the field as the quarterback completes a nice out route. And here we go with the Classton Comets again against J.D. Runnels.
Yes.
First-year head coach. Let's talk a little bit about J.D. Runnels. You know, he was a famed player, state championship player at Carl Albert.
Yes.
Won multiple state championships while he was there at the Carl Albert Titan. One of the underrated or forgotten positions he played while at the University of Oklahoma was fullback.
Yes.
I mean,
you don't hear anything.
It's a gone position, long gone position now.
They need it back, though.
Oh, man. So he was slated to coach one of the semi-pro teams here in Oklahoma. Was coming in, Oklahoma Wranglers, I believe it was what they were.
Right.
And something fell apart with that, and he secured the job here at Western Heights as he comes up the field and with a lot of energy. Been knowing J.D. for a long time. The brother of Lenny Hatchett, who's the head basketball coach at Dale City High School, state championships, just won a state championship recently there. So little brother J.D. is now sitting in as the head coach. Had a lot of opportunities to talk to him about his coaching philosophy. And, you know, one of the things he said to me is, Dwayne, it's different being the head coach. You know, as an assistant coach, you get to sit back and make suggestions.
Oh, yes.
Hey, coach, do this, do this, do this. But as a head coach, you're the one that says, yes, we're going to do that. And so he's wearing that hat now as he's finding some success with the numbers. First off, getting those kids that are walking the halls onto the football field, into the practice, and having them wearing the logo for the Western Heights Jets. Talked to one of their head coaches, one of their coaches, assistant coaches, that came up to the press box a little while ago, and we asked the question, how's it going? And he said, mostly good. A lot of changes, mostly good.
Right.
So we're looking
that
for –
says it all.
Yeah. So we reached the end of another 10-minute period.
Yes.
And we'll have a rotation as we say, switch.
Right.
And we probably need to take a quick break, pay some bills. See if Wes still remember how to push some buttons there. We can grab a glass of water or something and rehydrate, and we'll come back shortly. You're listening to Oklahoma High School Sports, the Oklahoma City preview, only on Oklahoma CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1. We'll be back after this break.
City, do you have the #1 youth football team in the city or the state? Come claim your team's crown as the Super Prep presents the inaugural Kings of the Gridiron Classic Tournament. The Kings of the Gridiron Classic is calling for all top youth football teams from 6 years under to 10 years and under to come and compete for the crown. This is taking place Saturday and Sunday, September the 23rd and 24th at Millwood High School in Oklahoma City. The semifinals and championship games will be streamed and played live on OKCPS Sports Radio 105.3 with a championship team from each division winning championship rings and crown of Kings of the Gridiron Classic. Register your team today at kingsofthegridironclassic.com. That's kingsofthegridironclassic.com. For more information, call 405-655-7897. That's 405-655-7897. Who would be crowned king? Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations to serve you. They're now open at Midwest City and still in their Edmond location. Big O's Pork and Dreams feature a menu with your favorite meats, briskets, ribs, pulled pork, chicken, hot links, and more. Big O's has a signature loaded smoked potato with the famous fat butt, also known as a Big Nasty. It's a loaded tater with a spare rib on top. Try Big O's loaded steak fries and barbecue pizza. Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations in the metro. In Midwest City, 6003 Southeast 15th, and in Edmond, 285 South Santa Fe Avenue. And both dining rooms have active pure technology to reduce over 99.9% bacteria, viruses, and more. And that's air you can trust. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturdays, 11 a.m. until the meat runs out. Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations, Midwest City and Edmond. Come get you one of these taters.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
It's Jeep season at Bob Howard CJDR. The best season of the year to get our biggest savings on your favorite SUVs. Save 20% off MSRP on new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L models. BobHowardCJD.com.
First Security Bank and Trust Company proudly serves our community and believes we have the responsibility to help it prosper. Bank with people you know and trust, right here in our community. First Security Bank and Trust offers customized personal, small business, and commercial financial products and services to meet your specific needs. To discuss your personal or business needs, visit us today at 1541 Northeast 23rd Street or give us a call at 405-424-4341 or visit our website at www.fsbokc.com. First Security Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You can do it all by yourself, baby girl. What's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink.
Spilled your drink? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $3,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash up to $3,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
And welcome back inside of Cap Stadium here on a beautiful Thursday night. Dwayne Doolittle, Mr. Max, Eric Ross along with you, getting ready for the A team to come in a little later here as we're sitting inside the press box here at the All-City Preview. And we've been trying to make heads and tails out of it. And so for those of you football enthusiasts, if you can imagine yourself at a 7-on-7 drill with multiple pods, multiple teams going all different directions, that's what we have right here. We've got red uniforms, black uniforms, blue uniforms, baby blue uniforms, maroon uniforms, purple uniforms, blue uniforms, white uniforms, all over the place. And we've got coaches that are coaching them up as though they're the only thing that's going on out here. And we've got cameramen that are streaming and looking at different places. And we're talking about stuff and trying to make it sense of you on the radio, where those of you who are following along as these teams are ironing or honing in their skills, sharpening their skill set to get ready for opening night that comes in approximately 2 weeks. And so that's where we are. That's what we have as we're getting ready for that. Hopefully the injury bug doesn't bite us. You're listening exclusively to the All-City Athletic Conference Preview. It's presented by SSM Health at St. Anthony and Super Prep. Our sponsors for tonight are Dick's Sporting Goods, the Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation, and Oklahoma City CBS Sports Radio 105.3. And there you have it, partner.
And you got to realize they're doing this at ultimate game speed.
Yes.
This is not a practice. This is ultimate game speed. And you can kind of see, especially on offense, you can see some of the quarterbacks are not ready for that game speed yet. They're getting that rush is right there in their face. They're kind of short-arming some things. But like you said, you've got coaches on the field that are fixing it on the spot.
Absolutely.
And this is the beauty of what we're looking at.
Yeah, they're having an opportunity. The coaches are having an opportunity as they're on the field to coach these players up on their successes and their failures. And so they're letting them know where they should have been or what they should have been doing, and then they're celebrating when they go out there and do something well. For the last 3 or 4 weeks, these players have been hitting their own teammates. And now tonight it goes live as to where in practice I don't want to hit my quarterback.
Right.
But that guy over there in that blue jersey on the other side,
I got to hit him.
He wants to hit your quarterback. As we've got a scramble here by the Star Spencer Bobcats, by the Western Heights Jets that ended in a penalty downfield on a late hit out of bounds. And so they're practicing getting those late hits in as well.
Yes.
Here, and I know these coaches are wanting to get out of this environment unscathed as they get ready for the playoffs. We've got trainers on the sideline. We've got the cheerleaders. We've got some fans here that are trickling in to see these teams. This is one of the hottest tickets in town. You can't go anywhere else and get this volume of football for one ticket.
No, not bad at all. Get a chance to give a bird's eye view on everything. Like you said, there's people filling in. The field is in good shape. You can see it all. You can see everything you need to see and learn a lot about your teams and the teams you're going to be facing down the road.
Absolutely. And we'll highlight another school here since we've got the time and got you along with us. Let's look at the class in SAS comments at Northeast under Coach Travis Burdine. I believe he's a first-year coach. Coach Burdine has Carlos Hardeman at quarterback, and Mr. Everything for them is Elijah Green, who's a senior wide receiver cornerback. We were having some conversation here in the booth a moment ago. In this day and age of the transfer portal, Mr. Green has managed to stay here and become or remain a class in comment. Pablo Williams is a sophomore cornerback free safety. Bogey Ramirez, called that name a lot. I messed it up a lot last season. He's coming in here as a junior, and he is one of the names that Coach Travis Burdine is leaning on. Dorian Wiley, a defensive end and defensive tackle, is going to anchor the defense as the class in defense now is being flagged for pass interference here. Didn't get the assignments right there. Dorian Wiley is another sophomore coming in at defensive tackle, and Israel Chukwu comes in as an outside linebacker, defensive end. And so some of the players that are featured on the class in comments who will look to make some noise as they did just that in this particular scrimmage. On that particular play against Southeast, they were able to disrupt things and get the quarterback down in the backfield. So that's the class in comments at Northeast. Class in SAS at Northeast.
You know, having seen them last year, they had good energy last year.
Absolutely.
They look like they're really hungry this year.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for them, and I can't wait to see them in a game situation, see Mr. Elijah get out there and do his thing. I know he did it last year, and that was probably one of the longest games we had seen with all the fireworks. Just one team had to win and one team had to lose, but it'll be very exciting to see what they do.
Coach Alex Evesey with the U.S. Grant Generals here are playing defense now, or offense. So, for instance, the comments as the Red Wolves now will take over on defense. And remember, the defense will be out there for 3 snaps and then switch. The offense will remain out for a series, and then they switch. So we've got 2 offenses on one side versus 2 defenses on the other side.
Right.
The defenses will be out there for 3 plays, and then they'll switch with the other defense. So now we've had the class in comments come out in favor of the Capitol Hill Red Wolves, who are now placing Southeast as Southeast immediately goes to the air raid game. Now, this is not the same Southeast team from last year.
No.
As they lost a lot of players who moved out of the district, transferred out of the district, and are playing for wearing other jerseys now. But a very exciting team that was on the field, very exciting product last season, and Coach looks to continue that in that spirit of excitement for the Southeast Spartans. Coach Matt Lane in his second year. Those are the players to watch there for Class in SAS. We'll look now at the Northwest Classen football team under Coach Corbin Frank in his first year. Defensive coordinator Aaron Franklin, assistant coaches Wesley Ray and Anthony Bryant come in with this year's version of the Northwest Classen Knights. Class 5A Classen Knights now, so they've dropped down a little bit. Formerly in the Class 6A, but they've been bumped down to Class 5A, which for them is probably a good thing. But there's some good teams in Class 5A.
Yes.
Class 5A is still loaded. 2 names that jump out at me as we look at this this iteration of the Northwest Classen Knights is Nathaniel Lopez, who's a junior, 6 foot, 320-pound offensive and defensive lineman.
Yes.
Yes, you heard me. 6 foot, 320. He's his partner, Jamel Weber, in the same class. He's 6 foot, 305 pounds. And so there's some meat right there.
Anchoring that line right there.
Defensively and offensively. Those are the two players that jump out at us immediately on paper when we start looking at what they're doing here. 320 pounds.
700 pounds, 600 pounds, right there on the line.
Yes.
I can remember.
I remember years ago when my son Cameron was playing football, and he had played down with a lot of players, and finally we bumped him up to get some more experience. And he said, "Dad, those kids are big." I said, "Well, they can't hurt you if they don't catch you." Exactly. So he kept running. Speaking of one of the Doolittles, I've got my son Christian, who's listening via the stream from France.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's over playing professional basketball there. Just left about a week and a half or so ago in France. He tells me he's trying to get used to the food and the time difference, 7-hour time difference. So hopefully,
bonjour.
Hopefully soon to go see him. So those are the Northwest Classen Knights who open up, ironically, versus U.S. Grant on September 1st. So that's going to be a game to be held right here at Taft Stadium on September 1st. All games start at 7 p.m. here in the metropolitan area. So we look for that version of that game.
Well, it should be a heck of a rivalry. I mean, it always was.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be anymore, as these teams now are still tightening up and getting after each other here. At this point was the Douglas Trojans now have switched up, and they face the Capitol Hill defense. Now Classen offense will face the Douglas defense in just a reversal of what we had a few moments ago, as we see on the south end, as the Star Spitzer Bobcats are now on offense facing the Northwest Classen defense. And this looks like the 2s and 3s that are playing now. So these are the younger players. Boom, moves. The quarterback now leads a player, and he gets hit here. Nice defense there by the Douglas Trojans on that end. Each of these teams are looking for some success early. Remember, the first 3 games are non-conference games, so you can pick and choose who you want to play. Typically, Douglas will play Millwood, Star Spencer, and someone else in their first 3 before they get into district play and start those games that really count and really matter. First 3 games, of course, are, to get your confidence up, see where you are, and to put some money in your account.
Yes.
Big games as John Marshall breaks one down the sideline into the end zone, and the officials throws their hands up here as the Bears have scored over the Northwest Classen Knights on defense and switching. I'm telling you, have you ever had the NFL Sunday Ticket?
Yes.
Okay, this is what we got here. This is NFL Sunday Ticket on a Thursday night at Taft Stadium. It's almost, again, like pushing a rope, trying to make it make sense here. Again, tonight's games are sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony's and Super Prep, exclusive title sponsors. And we're also game sponsors are Dick's Sporting Goods, OKC Dodgers Baseball Foundation, OKC Sports, CBS Sports Radio 105.3, where you're listening to us now. You can also follow along on the stream at Perry Publishing Broadcasting TV. And it's live stream there. You can click on that. You can see the action firsthand, as we will broadcast those games via that format throughout the season. So click subscribe. Those games, you'll get that notification. You'll be able to have the opportunity to do that. I know, partner, you and I have a few of those games that are streamed, the stream-only versions of these games, and we look forward to that opportunity to be able to do that as you and I get ready to get set to go live here in a couple of weeks, opening night. So we've got that. Coming up after our portion of this broadcast is Jay Swick and Dylan. They'll be here to bring you the 12-minute simulated game. So after we do the pop in and pop out, we will go to a simulated 12-minute game, 12-minute quarter on each end. So teams will be able to run their offenses and defenses simultaneously while facing one opponent. And so that's the traditional format of the preview that I'm accustomed to.
Right.
But we'll get into that, and it's looks more and more like football at that point. I'll probably get some popcorn, sit back, take a few notes, and watch this whole thing go down. So as we look here, as the Comets now on defense have hit number 16, Elijah Green, and he's still on his feet, steps out of bounds, virtually untouched.
Yes.
So he's picking up where he was last year, and certainly those are not the 2s on that end.
You can see why Tulsa's looking at him, or why he's committing to it.
Yeah. So and for him, going into his senior year already committed.
Yes.
All you got to do now is play.
And enjoy.
Yeah.
Have fun.
You get to NIL Day or National Letter of Intent, NLI Day. Not the NIL, but once you sign the NLI, you can get to the NIL.
Right.
And it's now a whole lot of weight and pressure off your shoulders because you said yes, this is where I want to go, and they've said yes, this is where we want you to be. Now you can just go play the game.
Education's paid for.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about stats and anything like that, or who's going to take you from there. You just get to play the game. As the quarterback gets blindsided, and that, no pun intended, as that has been the news lately with Michael Orr and the Tui family.
Yes.
And as that starts to unfold, listening to Wes and D. Wright break that whole thing down, and some of the names that are associated with football that have revealed themselves in football. That's a crazy, crazy thing that we have going there. So, partner, what are you thinking so far?
I'm liking what I'm seeing, actually. Like I said, I've seen this in a couple of different forms, and getting a chance to really – I've been in the stands when I've seen it. Seeing it up here where you can kind of bird's eye view everything, I was focusing on one team. Now I'm getting to focus on all of them. You can just see the rhythm. You can just see the pressure that's on them. Like you said, they've been hitting each other all summer, And now they get a chance to lay it out, and the coaches are right there to make those immediate corrections. And you can see where the upperclassmen are, and you can see where the kids that need some work. But I love the format. I didn't really think it looks like one giant scramble drill, but it's absolutely organized, and it's really good. You got 11 on 11. They got a short field to work with, or half a field to work with, and I'm loving it. I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought it would, because I had I didn't think it was something that I had seen before, but it is.
You know, when I opened up the email that came in from Mo Prince and I saw all this, I'm like, I looked at it on my phone at first. I'm thinking, man, I don't know what this is. You know, for the over almost 30 years that I officiated football, I'd never seen anything like this, but it's true to form here. You know, we had an opportunity to talk to Coach Harold Smith about his type of attack on offense. He said it would be an air raid type attack. True to form, they've just thrown a couple of passes downfield. Haven't been there to catch those. We did mention Travion Butler.
Yes.
Cameron Brown, Cleon Johnson.
And Mr. Olds.
Lamontre Olds.
Yes.
Caleb Moore and Kashmir Mims. Some of the standout players as Star Spencer goes back to the air. They're on a seam route. It's quarterback slightly overthrown, but it was there. Didn't get that happen there as they're looking to exploit the Northwest class in defense and gas them out there.
Well, and he's got he said he was stacked running back wise. He says it's by committee. He's got some names that that are there, but he's going to leave it as committee, which is really cool, because then you can play towards everybody's strengths.
So he's not naming a starting quarterback.
No, running back.
Oh, okay. But he's not going to do the starting quarterback. One game is the preseason, as we've got an interception here by the Douglas defense as they pick off the class and comments there. And then an overhead snap here for John Marshall Bears. So a whole lot of filling out going on here. Some game day jitters, some less than familiar situations for some players who now have been in practice, had no one standing over the top of their hat. Now with somebody over their hat, now that changes things up just a little bit for that presentation. And so we've got to get cadence and timing and all those things down to be able to make this thing make sense for each of the teams and each of the units. The good thing about this is that it's a controlled environment. We've had hydration breaks on each end, so the teams are good about that. We've got the trainers here that are practicing as well. We've got the cool tent set up down, the cooling stations down in the north end zone. They've got all the carts there, the rehydration. Everything's in place. The concession stands are open. Security's here in place. Everyone is practicing, and this is a game night, game time, game experience for everyone, a family environment. As Star Spencer now tries to feature their running back, the quarterback comes out of the backfield. A nice pickup on that play as he scrambles down inside of the 25-yard line. So a good 15-yard run here as they're facing now the Western Heights Jets.
Yep.
And one of those signs that we don't want to see, we've got a player that's still down on the field, and that's the chance you take when you haven't had that live action. You know, the first hits hurt.
Oh, yes. And hopefully, it looked like it hopefully is a cramp. Let's just hope it's something like that.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing serious. But I'm telling you, when that happens, when you get hit that first time after you haven't had those series of hits, that first one will shake you and slap you back into what's going on here as we look to see who that injured player is down for the Star Spencer Bobcats. Appeared to be number 7. And we'll get that information to you as we can here. The quarterback, Caleb Moore, appears to be injured now as he's been attended to by the training staff, as the aforementioned training staff is down there on their post.
Well, like you said, everybody gets to practice their business today, so that's good. And what better place to be than Taft Stadium?
A beautiful, beautiful stadium. It went through the renovation a few years back in the Fields of Dreams, and they've done a great thing here. I know that this turf has been replaced because the soccer team that was scheduled to play here did not play because of the turf issues, and they've redone the turf here as we look to the north end zone as Caleb Green catches a pass from the quarterback in the end zone for a touchdown over the U.S. Grant defense. That injured player has now gone to the sideline, Mr. Olds. He appears to be walking okay, and everything looks to be okay there as the trainer is still talking to him and assessing his well-being. So everything's in place there for him. Just a minor injury, minor shake-up. Like I said, hadn't been hit in a while, and the first time you do get hit in live action, it kind of makes you think a little differently about what's going on out here.
Yep, he's shaking it off, and that's good.
So let's move on and then get to one of our other teams that we hadn't talked much about, the Southeast Spartans, as they come in with Coach Matt Lane, second-year head coach. Spartans were 6-4 last year, had some high-energy ball games, some last-minute showdowns and catches at the end of games to pull victories out of hats. But as mentioned, this is a different team than make up the team last year. You know, we had brother-to-brother connections last year. Well, those brothers are gone now. And Keenan Holland is a senior wide receiver. We'll have to step into some big shoes to fill. Brandon O'Connor, number 12, player number 17. You know, he's a senior tight end and linebacker. He's coming in to anchor the offense and defense as a senior to offer that senior leadership. You know, Keenan Holland, I'm going to go back to him for a second. Anytime you put on uniform number 1, when you wear jersey number 1,
oh, yes,
there's a lot of weight, a lot of pressure on you.
The focus is yours.
Yeah, so number 1, he's got heavy shoes, big shoes there. Abraham Casillo is a sophomore offensive defensive lineman wearing uniform number 60 for the Southeast Spartans, who's a returning player. Isel Aparcio, he's a junior offensive defensive lineman, and Adrian Vargas. So 5 players that Coach Matt Lane's going to lean on as these teams now are doing the switch rotation into the next ideation of what iteration of what we're going to see here coming down the pike there. So we've highlighted 7 teams, of which we have the rosters for.
Right.
We have not been able to highlight the Capitol Hill Red Wolves because we don't have that information for them.
Right.
But certainly we would like to do that. That information wasn't made available to us. We'll talk a little bit about the Western Heights team as I scan the roster that was given to us. I'm noticing 5, 6 seniors on the team. So first-year coach, a young team, bunch of freshmen, underclassmen. But if there's anyone that can bring a championship pedigree and mindset to this team, this rebuilding team, and everyone's heard all the things that are going on in Western Heights as they recover from all the stuff that's going on above our pay grade.
Right.
They're trying to bring some calm and peace to their athletic program, and they've got the right person at the helm. Terry Long has had success everywhere he's been. He was highly missed here in Oklahoma City Public Schools as he took the helm out at Western Heights. I know he'll do a great job there. He's had success everywhere he's gone. And he knocked it out of the park with his first hire as a coach. First hire. J.D. Reynolds.
Yep.
I mean, that name alone. If you don't know about J.D. Reynolds, folks that are listening to us now, you got the answer in your hand. Get to your phone and just say J.D. Reynolds. And Siri and Google and everybody else can tell you everything he's done, everywhere he's been, and the success he's had.
Well, it brings some serious toughness to that program.
Yeah, and he's got some heavy hitters with him. Jarvis Pitts, Andre Daniels, Melvin Smith, David Heath, Randy Tilley, Logan Lyles, Byron Smith, Jonathan Jackson. He's got a staff that is going to pour in to those kids all that they know.
Right.
They're going to have them every opportunity to be successful. Listen, they've even gone so far. I saw a chartered bus style thing when I pulled up, and that's where the Jets were getting off of. So they got first class facilities. They got first class coaching staff, and now they're having them buy into that. You know, and I think they'll do that. So we're going to look to see what the Jets are doing here and highlight some of the names that we can as we go forward. With those, we'll call off those seniors. Senior Ben Sparks, senior Jacalen Collins, a senior. Darian Wiley, Keaton Reed, Dallas Fields. You know, and he's wearing jersey number 88. And so the number 88 brings in to remembrance a whole lot of plays there as the ball is picked off here as this Spencer has gone into the air raid attack, and the quarterback gets intercepted there in the end zone. So games are still being played here. Gamesmanship is still going on the line.
Right.
They're looking to exploit things. But hats off to these seniors who have either stuck with the program or have come back to the program in this year, in this rebuilding year, and say, Coach, I want to be a part of this team. I want to be a part of the things that you're doing here for my alma mater. I want to be able to wear the hat, wear the uniform of a Western Heights Jet.
Yeah, and build a legacy.
Yes.
I mean, you know, these guys can cement a legacy as a senior and set the bar.
Tip drills there as the pass for Western Heights is tipped by the receiver into the hands of the defensive player, and he picks it off and would have been a pick six had we not been in this particular format. And so as we're looking now, we've got the 2s and 3s on the field. And just to put that in mind, that's not necessarily a bad thing because some of these players are two-way players that are playing alternate positions, so the coaches will get the chance to fill them out in that role, if you will, to see how they're going to be able to stand up under pressure. This is not necessarily a coming out party, but this is just to see where we are. We want to see where we are today. As the officials are trying to see where they are too, we've got flags flying all over the place here.
Oh yeah!
So they practiced. The players have practiced. Again, hats off to the officials so they will come out here and volunteer their time. All City Commissioner Jim Watson. I'm very familiar with the role that Jim is playing here, as I held this position as commissioner for the All City Conference in football for over 19 years, and I currently serve as the commissioner for basketball in that conference. So it's not easy to get these officials to come out on a night like tonight, as the Western Heights have gone downfield and put the ball in the end zone.
Wow.
And so the coaches are celebrating that as Coach J.D. Reynolds is running downfield to congratulate his receiver on a play that went to the house, a 40-yard strike to the end zone. And when's the last time we've been able to say that? J.D. tried to do the chest bump high, get up high. I think he's realizing he's old now. He can't get as high as he once was. He's probably going to jump down off a ladder to be able to do that, or just shake hands with the guy there. But that's good to have that type of excitement from your head coach who sprints all the way to the end zone. And that kid is going to try to do that for him every time to see if he can get his coach out of breath and lose his win there, to be praised like that. So,
well, expecting some big things from the program. I mean, like you said, you can see the energy right now. It's translating from the coaches to the players, and they're going to do it their way.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, there's some things out here that require no talent. Effort requires no talent. Being on time requires no talent.
Right.
You don't have
heart.
Just to be a part of that. You don't have to be a talented individual to show up and work hard and have a high work ethic and to be respectful. That requires zero talent. And so for some of these players who don't see their name in lights, right? They're not being recruited by your Division I schools, your Blue Buds. It's okay. If you've got somebody on your team that's coming out and those coaches are coming to watch them, guess what? They're going to see you.
Yeah.
They're not going to turn their eye away from you, which is, I believe, is how my son got a scholarship to play basketball at the University of Oklahoma. They came out and they were watching Jordan Woodard, and they happened to see my son in his freshman year, and they stayed on him, and the rest is history. He went to the University of Oklahoma, and I got a chance to buy Harley Davidson because I didn't have to pay for his college. Yeah. So I should have just kept the money, but I didn't. So
no.
So yeah,
the bike is a good thing.
Yeah, so great things here come into place, putting all the pieces together. Everybody's here is filming. The teams are filming their successes. They're looking at what they're doing, and they'll be able to break that film down in a film session tomorrow. As they walk through, get ready, and go to practice and break down that by position. The position coaches are being able to coach up their players and by position and be able to get that. I will congratulate the Western Heights team, as I see position coaches and numbers of coaches throughout. We're on some rosters. We've got a limited number of coaches. Everybody can't be a head coach, but you can coach.
Right.
You can come give back to the program. So if you're sitting on your couch saying, I can do that, come on out and do it. We've got room to be mentors. We've got opportunities to be mentors there. Just again, I want to remind you, you're listening to the Oklahoma City All-City Preview here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3, presented by SSM Health in St. Anthony's and Super Prep. Dwayne Doolittle, Mr. Max, along with you here on this Thursday night version of the All-City Preview. Coming up here shortly, we'll get into a 12-minute simulated version. Max and I are going to sit back, take a seat, and we're going to bring in the heavy hitters.
Yes.
In the form of Swick and Dillon. And those guys are going to take us on out, and we'll get a chance to sit and watch some of this stuff without having to talk about it as much as we've been doing. We've appreciated the opportunity. We've got a full slate of games scheduled here on this family of networks, the 92.1 as well as 105.3 here at CBS Sports Radio. We're going to be bringing you football games on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, as we are the home of the Kansas City Chiefs. You can catch their broadcasts exclusively here on our over our airways. You can tune in the morning on the Morning Rush with Swick and D. Wright. They'll tell you, he'll recap everything that we saw tonight, talk about some other things that are going on, and followed closely by Myron Patton on the air, the Thesaurus, encyclopedia of sports in here in the Oklahoma sports and throughout the nation, followed by the Rome Show, and then get in the afternoon with James Hale, who knows everything about OU. Mm-hmm. He's Mr. Everything at OU, and he can tell you everything that's going on down there and in college sports. And then the Drive at 5, featuring Wes and D. Wright as we take you off the airs. But remember, we're going to be broadcasting here on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, so there will be some form of football at some class, some level, each one of those nights. We want you to tune in with us as the Northwest Classens are going deep here versus the Bears, yes. And there's an interception in the end zone by the Bears, a little celebration that transcends into the game. I like it that the officials are not overreacting now when these players make great plays and show some emotion, because the only thing that doesn't show emotion is something that has no life. Right. And when you get out there and you've been coached up and they're trying to score on you as the Western Heights jet dives out, there goes Coach Reynolds again. He's out there picking up his player as a player laid out to catch that pass, a beautiful pass that's laid out for him. Wow. Number 2, I might have called his name. That's Nick Holmes. He's a sophomore, and he's buying into the program. Gave all he had, sacrificed his body out there to reach out and make a fingertip grab there inside the 5-yard line. If this had been a Friday night, we'd have lined up. We got some points out of that. In the scrimmage format, we got to go back to the 40 or the 35 as everything takes place at that point, and then we go in from there. So it's a do-over unless you score. And even then it's a do-over.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, no sustained drives.
Heck of a play, though.
Yeah, those sustained drives, those drives are going to come here momentarily. We've got 11 seconds left on the clock here before we go into that sustained drive portion of it. And we're going to dip out of here, pay a few bills, let Wes showcase some of our talent on that side of the aisle in the broadcast. We appreciate him making us sound good here. We're going to take about a 5-minute break here as we get ready for the portion of the program where there's a 10-12-minute scoring possessions by each team as we went on down here to find us a all-city championship or championship trophy to be presented. So Dwayne Doolittle, Eric Ross, back at our studio, Wes Wilder. We appreciate you listening in to us. We're going to switch some seats around here. Look for us on the radio. You're listening to the All-City Preview exclusively here on the Home for Sports, All-City Sports, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony's and Super Prep. Well, thank you to our game sponsors, Dick Sporting Goods, OKC Dodgers Baseball Foundation, and OKC CBS Sports Radio 105.3. We'll be back after a quick break.
We cover it all. We are sports. OKC's CBS Sports Radio, KINB-FM, 105.3 HD1, Kingfisher, Oklahoma City, a Perry broadcasting station.
Need a banking partner you can count on? Call First Security Bank and Trust Company. It will be the best call you will ever make. Personal banking with First Security Bank and Trust Company can make life so easy. We offer mobile banking, online banking, and qualifying accounts can even make deposits using a cell phone. You will have instant access to all of your financial information, and you're able to check your balance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can transfer funds and even pay bills. You have total control. Plus, we offer personal customer service to help you with all your banking needs. Visit us today at 1541 Northeast 23rd Street, or give us a call at 405-424-4341, or visit our website at www.fsbokc.com. First Security Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Oklahoma City, do you have the #1 youth football team in the city or the state? Come claim your team's crown as the Super Prep presents the inaugural Kings of the Gridiron Classic Tournament. The Kings of the Gridiron Classic is calling for all top youth football teams from 6 years under to 10 years and under to come and compete for the crown. This is taking place Saturday and Sunday, September the 23rd and 24th at Millwood High School in Oklahoma City. The semifinals and championship games will be streamed and played live on OKCPS Sports Radio 105.3, with the championship team from each division winning championship rings and crown of Kings of the Gridiron Classic. Register your team today at kingsofthegridironclassic.com. That's kingsofthegridironclassic.com. For more information, call 405-655-7897. That's 405-655-7897. Who will be crowned king?
Looking for more college football? You'll find it right here on CBS Sports Radio. This season we have games from the SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and Pac-12. Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, USC, Ohio State, North Carolina, and more. Listen live on your mobile device. Just download the app, streamed by PPBC. Get the action no matter where you are. Don't miss a second of the action. We are Sport, CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1.
First Security Bank and Trust Company proudly serves our community and believes we have the responsibility to help it prosper. Bank with people you know and trust, right here in our community. First Security Bank and Trust offers customized personal, small business, and commercial financial products and services to meet your specific needs. To discuss your personal or business needs, visit us today at 1541 Northeast 23rd Street or give us a call at 405-424-4341 or visit our website at www.fsbokc.com. First Security Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Protection breaks down. Michelle slings it late. Diving catch made. Touchdown! Kansas City! Michelle does a little Mahomes impersonation.
This Saturday night, the Chiefs preseason continues against the Arizona Cardinals at State Farm Stadium. Pregame starts at 6 right here on your home for Kansas City Chiefs football.
Kansas City Chiefs football lives here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1.
Are you looking to rent a car? Better yet, do you need to rent a car but don't want to go through the hassle? If you said yes, let the professionals at A Plus Rent a Car put you in a rental vehicle today. They have low rates and the only requirements to rent a vehicle is you must be at least 21 years of age with a valid license, utility bill, and lease. Deposits are as low as $100. That's it. Low daily and weekly rental rates are available and great cars to choose from. A Plus Rent a Car is located at 2906 Northwest 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. Check out our website at apluscarental.com or call 405-602-0000. That's 405-602-0000 for A Plus Rent a Car. They accept cash, debit, prepaid, and credit cards.
Protection breaks down. Michelle slings it late. Diving catch made. Touchdown! Kansas City! Michelle does a little Mahomes impersonation.
This Saturday night, the Chiefs preseason continues against the Arizona Cardinals at State Farm Stadium. Pregame starts at 6 right here on your home for Kansas City Chiefs football.
Kansas City Chiefs football lives here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin is here with the only razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with a patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Visit GilletteVenus.com to learn more about our full regimen of products.
Be a part of your favorite CBS sports show now. Text your comments or opinions to 405-451-8089. That's 405-451-8089. We are CBS Sports Radio. CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $3,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash up to $3,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
High school football is back on CBS Sports Radio. It's True Grit from the Gridiron. This season, get ready for matchups featuring Bishop McGuinness, Millwood, Midwest City, Heritage Hall, Douglas, John Marshall, Putnam City North, DC West, and the original Putnam City, along with Southeast Northwest Classen, Shawnee, Star Spencer, and Classen SAS. So let these games begin. It's high school football served all season long. Sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony's. You can listen on your radio, and you can watch all the games on PPBC TV. Download the app today. We are live in local sports. CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your dentist. Do me a favor and feel the front of your teeth. How grimy are they? Ugh. It's time for a Crest Pro Health reality checkup. That grime is the buildup of plaque bacteria that can cause cavities in just months. You need to switch to Crest Pro Health. While most toothpaste stop working in minutes, Crest Pro Health's antibacterial fluoride protects for up to 12 hours to stop cavities before they start. So pick some up on the way home. Smile. Crest has you covered.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll Charmin Ultra Strong when you drop in the beat. It cleans with way less effort on your seat. Yeah, roll it, drop it, yeah, roll it, yeah, drop it. Okay. Charmin flows extra strong from the road. Your butt hella clean while you're sitting on the bowl. Yeah, it's all you need for that bathroom groove. Get you in and out without nothing to prove.
Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Good evening, Oklahoma. Appreciate you tuning in to the ACAC Conference previews. High school football at its best here, presented by SSM Health at St. Anthony's, and, of course, our good friends at Super Prep. We've got the previews here live from Taft Stadium right here in the heart of Oklahoma City, right off May Avenue. 9 teams competing here today, preparing themselves for this upcoming season. It's a lot of moving parts. It's really, really a cool thing to watch different teams face off against each other and on offense and defense. Not so much special teams today, but everyone's just kind of getting their feet wet, preparing themselves for what's to come in the fall. And as early as next week for some teams. And we'll get into that and what's going on. And we appreciate everybody tuning in online as well as, CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM HD1. Appreciate it. I'm Jay Swick. To my right is Dylan Treble. Good evening, my friend.
We are
here.
Back
we
at
are
it.
Again.
Once again, back at it. It is football in the state of Oklahoma. Friday Night Lights are among us. Week 0 next week. And there's some big matchups. But for tonight, we got all the Oklahoma City public schools getting after it, getting to hit somebody else in a different colored jersey. I know that feels good.
It feels really good. And, you spend all summer getting prepared physically, lifting weights, working out in the heat, running your Ren sprints, and then you get into the training camp part where you're hitting your teammates and you're starting to get in football shape. But it's just something different when you start to practice and you start to go full speed, full pads against another team. And that is really when the switch gets turned on, mentally, physically, and get you ready for the upcoming season. No matter what happens today, it's not going to reflect on your record. So
no doubt.
That in itself is good. We've seen some mistakes, and that's where you need to work out the kinks, is here tonight at ACAC Conference Previews. Like I said, there's our 9 teams here today participating: Western Height Jets, the Southeast Spartans, the Douglas Trojans, the John Marshall Bears, the Northwest Classen Knights, Classen SAS Comets, as well as the Capitol Hill Red Wolves, the Star Spencer Bobcats, and the U.S. Grant Generals. They're all here competing against one another, and there's basically interchangeable series left and right. Like right now on the left side of the field, we have the Classen SAS Comet defense, and they are currently taking on the Western Heights Jets offense. And that's what you're seeing on the screen if you are logged on to PPBC TV, which is on YouTube now. And that's where we'll be streaming all our broadcasts. Which is really cool. Now, on the other side of the field, the same thing is going on. We've got the Northwest Knights defense taking on the John Marshall Bear offense. So that's happening on both sides of the field, and a defense may come off and a different team's defense may come on, and vice versa with the offense. So a lot of moving parts. Right now we're focused on the Western Heights offense. Drops back. Quarterback moving to the left is having to scramble, makes one man miss, and then gets brought down for a short gain. Western Heights is a very interesting team. New head coach, J.D. Runnels. And
yes, sir.
A lot of the things you've heard already, if you've been paying attention to the broadcast, Dwayne Doolittle and the crew have done a great job broadcasting the first part of the previews. And so now we've all of a sudden seen a shift. We've got Capitol Hill on defense and the Southeast Spartan offense right now. So it's constant moving, constant play running, and Southeast runs the quarterback draw to the far side for about a 5-yard gain. But, yeah, I'm eager to see what the Southeast Spartans do this year. They've had a lot of turnaround in terms of
they lost
players.
A lot of guys. Yep.
They've got they lost their 4 offensive linemen. They lost their quarterback, the running back, and the wide receiver last year. So they've got a lot to rebuild.
And 3 of those guys are going D1 next year. So
right.
That's a huge loss for the Southeast Spartans.
That's true. But I mean, I do have a lot of respect for Coach Matt Lane. He does a great job over there. They had a winning record last year, finished 6-4. They've got a new quarterback who played wide receiver last year, Keon Holland. A little bit undersized, but I'm excited about what he brings to the table. Plus, one of their starters is back. Izio Aparicio is somebody that they're really going to count on, not only as the lone returning starter on that offensive line, but as a leader on this team. So I'm interested to see how the Southeast Spartans bounce back. They're currently on offense right now, as you can see on the screen. And you can if you're listening to CBS Sports Radio. But a quick out route pass to number 5. Easy completion. Really quick movement and a nice read by the quarterback, Keon Holland, who, again, played wide receiver last year. He's the quarterback this year. So
very athletic kid.
Very athletic. He can get up and down, but as we can see, he's got a pretty good arm on him.
Yeah, he slung it, took what the defense gave him. And
sometimes those out routes can get a little tricky.
They definitely
If you get the wrong angle, it can easily become a pick six if you're not careful.
Yeah, a lot of cornerbacks will try to jump those out routes and take it to the crib for a pick 6.
So now we're seeing a different set. I think they're going to go into their 12-minute simulated game set here momentarily. Some teams are coming off the field and coming onto the field. You've got U.S. Grant over there on the south side of the stadium. Looks like I believe their offense is coming onto the field on the north side of the stadium. You've got Capitol Hill's. I believe their offense is coming on the north side of the stadium. So we'll see who the defenses are when they come out to see. But I'm excited, Dylan. I think this year is going to be pretty spectacular, and We love our high school football here in the state of Oklahoma. A lot of talent, underrated talent.
That we do.
I've been impressed watching Elijah Green of class in SAS today. Obviously, he's committed to the University of Tulsa. He's going to go play D1 football next year.
That's big time.
And he's made some plays today so far on offense and defense. Dynamic athlete, very athletic, very fast, has great hands too. But he
does.
He's one of your bigger receivers and cornerbacks, and he could play either way at Tulsa. Who knows where he actually ends up? I think he's going as a wide receiver. But, I mean, we know anything can change, and they've got a new quarterback or a new coach up there at the University of Tulsa with Kevin Wilson. And he saw something in Elijah Green and offered him a scholarship and got him to commit. So you've got class in SAS on offense on the south side of the field. On the north side of the field where the camera is, we've got the Capitol Hill Red Wolves. They're on offense, and they're taking on the Western Heights Jets defense right now. And Capitol Hill is an interesting team. Clay Sizemore is their head coach. You know, their first game is next week against PC North, so this is a great opportunity for them to get ready and prepare for next week.
No doubt. Very meaningful reps right here for Capitol Hill.
Right, and to get action, and we've got a fumble here, and it looks like Western Heights have recovered it.
Yeah, some miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back for Capitol Hill, and Western Heights pick up that fumble.
But you know what? If you're going to make mistakes, make them today.
That's right.
Make them today because it will not reflect on your record. And if anything, you can learn from these mistakes and do your best not to repeat them once the real scheduled games get underway, which starts next week, PC North. But Clay Sizemore's the head coach. They run the air raid offense, speed option. They're going to do a couple different things this year at Capitol Hill. They returned 6 starters on offense. Their junior quarterback, Peyton Hunt, is going to be relied upon heavily. So they've stepped off the field. Now you've got a Northwest Classens offense on the field, and they're taking on Western Heights defense. Here's the snap. They hand it off to number 4. No, actually, it's a fake handoff, and the quarterback, Carter Wilkinson, with the speed option. Well, it's basically a quarterback sweep on the left side, and he got positive yards. It was a great fake. He had
just
me
a
fooled.
Solid read option, and he bounced it to the outside, took it up the field for a good 9-10 yards. I mean, anything that positive to move the chains is a good thing for the Northwest Classen Knights. And now Capitol Hill is back on the offensive side with Western Heights on defense.
And Capitol Hill, like I said, their quarterback Peyton Hunt is in the shotgun position, calling out the cadence. He's actually trying to check with the ref to make sure he's got the green light to run the play. 3 wide receiver set, hands it off to the running back, and here's some room to run, and he's going to get to the 5. Can he get in? Yes, he can. Beautiful run right up the middle for the Capitol Hill Wolves, right through the Western Heights Jets defense.
Yeah, the blocking by Capitol Hill's offensive line was phenomenal. The hole was huge. The running back, he just hit the hole, went straight forward, and he took it all the way to the house.
A little bit of misdirection. He had the fake. They fell for it, opened up some running lanes, and they took full advantage. So now you've got Northwest Classen back in there.
Yep.
Western Heights still on defense. And Northwest Classen, like I said, Carter Wilkinson is the lone returning starter. If you're going to have a starter return, you've got it's good to be a quarterback because he's obviously the leader of the team and running the offense. He gets sacked right there. That was good pressure by Western Heights. But I like what Corbin Frank is doing. They've got a first game September 1st against U.S. Grant, and that's going to be a big one, being that it is a district game. And I like several of the other players for Northwest Classen. A lot of juniors. They've got a lot of juniors on this team. Wide receiver Brandon Butler, 5'8", 160 pounds, but he's quick. He's quick, and he can get open. Also, some big-time defensive linemen and offensive linemen for Northwest Classen. Capitol Hill offense back on. They're going to hike the ball, fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run right, has room to run, and gets tackled. That was basically a one-arm tackle. John Marshall defense was defending the play and trying to see who made the play over there, but pretty good stop by that defensive line. As you can see, they got a little meat on their bones down there.
Yeah, they
Dylan.
sure do. There's some big fellas on that D-line for John Marshall. They've been a program with a solid history in the sport of football, so I know they're always excited when the fall comes around, and we'll see what they can do.
Here's
this
Carter
season.
Wilkinson with the fake. He's going to run right, gets around the edge, now cuts back, and he's going to be brought down on the right side for a short gain.
Phenomenal pursuit by that linebacker for John Marshall, 57.
It's interesting to see because they'll run a play and then a different team will come on and run a play. And
yeah, a lot going on.
So a lot, like I said, a lot of moving parts, but I appreciate everybody tuning in to PPBC TV, which is on YouTube, and everyone listening to us on CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM, HD1. All right. So, like I said, it's a running clock. If you've been paying attention to the broadcast, Wayne Doolittle went over the rules and kind of how this is being played out. And so we're just kind of piggybacking off what he did. We've got Capitol Hill's offense back on the field, John Marshall's defense, four-man front. They shotgun, move, completion to the far side of the field, gets the first down if there was one. Beautifully executed play, was able to get the ball out quickly, especially the outside, the hash on the far right side of the field.
Yeah, it was a great throw under pressure because there was 3 John Marshall Bears coming right for the quarterback in the backfield, and he delivered a great ball, and his receiver picked up the first down, like you said, if there was one.
And John Marshall has a defensive lineman, Dadrian Parker, 6'3", 250 pounds. I mean, he's pretty big time down there, and he plays along that four-man front. Here's Northwest Class, and they complete a pass to the slot. He's got room to run. Really good blocking by Northwest Class in there. Got some good chunk yards.
Yeah, when you have blocking by your receivers on the outside and it's that successful, it should be a really good night and a really good season for you.
So Western Heights defense back out on the field taking on Capitol Hill.
My mom was Capitol Hill back in the day, Swick.
All right, very good.
Graduated in the 70s.
Well, I know who she's rooting for this play.
No doubt about that.
And let's see, Capitol Hill, Peyton Hunt, the quarterback. I'm eager to see how this Western Heights defense really comes together this year. J.D. Runnels has done quite a bit in such a small amount of time. He was bragging on his players in the spring. He had 40 different kids in the off-season program this year, and he's hoping to add more this year once the season starts. So that's a really good thing. Quick little speed option to the right. Quarterback keeper, Peyton Hunt, got some chunk plays. I think Western Heights' focus is to bend but don't break.
Play discipline football, especially on the defensive side, because then that gives your offense a lot of opportunities to get points on the board. But then again, if you're on defense and you get some turnovers, pick six, you can score on that. And JD is a solid coach. He's going to make them stick to the fundamentals.
Northwest Classen offense back on the field taking on Western Heights defense. Shotgun formation, 3 split, and a little bit of a confusion. Got a flag on the play. I don't know if it's a hold or if it's maybe an illegal motion of some kind. I know when the ball was snapped, the quarterback kind of ran into his running back, and that's when the flag was thrown, but I don't think that's an illegal play necessarily, if that's what you want to do, which nobody does. But, okay, Capitol Hill back out on the field, and Western Heights defense still on there running that 3-man front. They run the 3-4, and they've got kind of the personnel to do it. I think that's a really good defensive strategy to take for head coach J.D. Runnels. Here is, let's see, ball is snapped. Capitol Hill fakes the run. Now he runs right, and Western Heights did not fall for the fake, Dylan.
They did not. There were two guys in the backfield. One hit the quarterback high, and then the other one hit him low. I hope he's all right. He kind of got up limping a little bit, got hit in the ankle and the leg. Hope he's going to be all right because this is just a preseason scrimmage, and they need him down the long haul.
That's right. So we've got on the north side of the field, Northwest Classen now. Their offense is out on the field with quarterback Carter Wilkinson. Western Heights defense still on the field. They can do so many defensive looks out of the defense that J.D. Runnels uses. They've got a fake. No, they handed it off, and it was a delayed handoff, I don't think by design.
No, that was definitely not designed.
And that took a little bit of time to get the ball to the running back. By the time they gave him the football, Western Heights defense has already penetrated that first line and in the backfield, disrupting the play.
Yep.
So now we've got John Marshall defense. It's their turn to play on the defensive side of the ball. Capitol Hill is still on at offense here. And you've got a few of the coaches kind of talking up the players. And I think we're in the rotation of the second string and even the third string right now. They want to make sure everybody gets a little playing time and get some experience today. So here we go. They hand the football right up the middle to number 8 for Capitol Hill, who got some significant chunk yards.
He sure did.
And that was a well-blocked play by the Red Wolves offensive line.
Yep, really nice hole opened up by that O-line of Capitol Hill. Really nice run by the running back. I mean, we're seeing some really good running as far as Capitol Hill's offense goes.
So Northwest Classen's going to come in. I think there's 30 seconds on the clock. It is a running clock, and so we may have to take a timeout here shortly. But quarterback Carter Wilkinson is directing traffic for the Knights of Northwest Classen. John Marshall defense on the field, one man in motion. So 3 to the short side of the field, 1 to the left, and we've got a false start. Wide receivers started to run before everybody else. They threw it deep. It's intercepted. And in a real game, that really wouldn't have that play would have been called dead.
Yeah,
right?
It would have been a dead ball.
Yeah, but a really good play by that John Marshall defender. You know, John Marshall's head coach, Malcolm Mack, first-year coach for John Marshall. 3 different head coaches in 3 years. They've been, going through some ups and downs and some turnaround these past few years. But I think Malcolm Mack is the guy that's going to come in here and, bring some stability to this program. I think that's really, really important. And the kids deserve it because John Marshall has some athletes.
They sure do.
Now,
Northwest side of Oklahoma City is full of athletic kids.
We mentioned junior defensive lineman Dadrian Parker, 6'3", 250. I really love his athleticism. And I love their offensive lineman, Jared Davis. He's such a leader. Several of the coaches have been bragging on them. So we've got each team kind of retreating to their own huddle. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then come back for some live action here for the ACAC conference previews presented by SSM Health and St. Anthony's, as well as our friends at Super Prep. By the way, SSM Health is St. Anthony's. Let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital help people get moving again. Call for an appointment today at 405-218-2530. That's 218-2530. I'm Jay Swick. This is Dylan Tribble. We'll take a timeout, come right back for some more high school football for the ACAC conference previews presented by SSM Health and St. Anthony's, as well as Super Prep. We'll be back.
Drives real change, using the building blocks of today to create a better tomorrow. Black culture drives the conversation. Now we're using our impact to reclaim the future. This year's series begins in Baltimore on August 29th and concludes in North Carolina on November 14th. For our first stop, join Chevrolet and Urban One for a discussion on Black futures, leveraging artificial intelligence within the Black community. Learn more at change.newsone.com. Real talk drives real change. Fully charged by Chevrolet.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service. Delivering for America.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your dentist. Do me a favor and feel the front of your teeth. How grimy are they? Ugh. It's time for a Crest Pro Health reality checkup. That grime is the buildup of plaque bacteria that can cause cavities in just months. You need to switch to Crest Pro Health. While most toothpaste stop working in minutes, Crest Pro Health's antibacterial fluoride protects for up to 12 hours to stop cavities before they start. So pick some up on the way home. Smile. Crest has you covered.
Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations to serve you. They're now open at Midwest City and still in their Edmond location. Big O's Pork and Dreams feature a menu with your favorite meats, briskets, ribs, pulled pork, chicken, hot links, and more. Big O's has their signature loaded smoked potato with the famous fat butt, also known as a Big Nasty. It's a loaded tater with a spare rib on top. Try Big O's loaded steak fries and barbecue pizza. Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations in the metro. In Midwest City, 6003 Southeast 15th, and in Edmond, 285 South Santa Fe Avenue. And both dining rooms have active pure technology to reduce over 99.9% bacteria, viruses, and more. And that's air you can trust. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturdays, 11 a.m. until the meat runs out. Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations, Midwest City and Edmond. Come get you one of these taters.
And we are back. All City Athletic Conference previews high school football here at Taft Stadium, historic Taft Stadium. Glad to be here. Jay Swick, Dylan Tribble, broadcasting live on PPBC TV on YouTube, as well as CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM HD1. We've actually got a little bit of an injured player right now that's getting tended to. Looks like maybe twisted up his ankle. He plays for Capitol Hill, one of the Red Wolves right now. You've got the Red Wolf defense and I believe the Southeast offense.
Yes, sir.
On the north side of the stadium right now. That's where we're focused at. And that's getting attended to right now. But we were talking before the break about John Marshall. You know, they were 2-8 last year, 3rd head coach in 3 years. And I think Malcolm Mack is really going to do a good job this year. And like I said, bring a little bit of stability. But, of course, some great leadership. I think that the players are going to learn quite a bit about football as well as life from Coach Mack. And their first game is next Thursday, and it's a tough one, Dylan. They got to go on the road Thursday night to take on the Lawton Wolverines.
Wow. Yeah, that
so
is
it's
a tall task.
It's going to be a nice way to start the season and be thrown into the fire and expected to compete. And so hopefully they will do a really good job. We'll let you know. But there's several John Marshall Bear players that I really enjoy watching. D lineman Dadrian Parker, senior linebacker Terrence Caldwell, senior defensive back James Allen. But right now on the field we've got the Southeast Spartan offense. Nice little out route completed to the wide receiver for a short gain. Capitol Hill defense made the tackle. But Southeast does a great job of just taking what the defense gives you.
Yeah.
See your opportunity at the line of scrimmage and take advantage of it.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happened.
Exactly. Like we always say, if you can get 5 yards every play and drive the whole field and score, do it. Chunk by chunk, yard by yard. Go down the field, get some points on the board, and win football games.
Now we've got the U.S. Grant General offense, one man in motion, taking on Northwest Classen defense. And the snap handed off. Nice little draw play to the running back, who is tough to bring down, bounces outside. It's taken 2 or 3, actually more than 2 or 3 night defenders to bring him down. That's got to be encouraging for the offense, U.S. Grant. If you can just average 3.5 a play,
that's all it takes,
then everything's going to work out.
That's
but
right.
It's easier said than done. There's no doubt about it. Southeast offense out on the field, Northwest Classen defense there. And I believe this is the second string for Southeast. Fakes handoff. Quarterback runs over a defender and makes a significant chunk yard play to the left side of the field for the Southeast Spartan. And one thing I've noticed is most teams are carrying out the fakes pretty well. We've seen a couple botch snaps here and there. We've seen a couple offsides, and you're going to see things like that early on. But that's why we've got this event going on is to work out the kinks and to, get in rhythm of, what a game would be like and hit somebody else other than your teammate. I think that's really, really helpful and beneficial. You got 2 receivers on each side for U.S. Grant. Great protection. Hits the wide receiver on a quick out route from the slot receiver. Goes right out of bounds. It's good execution by U.S. Grant. Northwest Classen kind of giving them a little bit of a cushion defensively.
So our man Doolittle just relayed some information to me about what's going down here. So each team will select 2 players for the All-ACAC preview team for a total of 18 players. 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player from each team will make up the All-ACAC preview team. In addition, a panel of site athletic coordinators and district athletic staff will select the most outstanding player from all the following positions: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, O-line, D-line, linebacker, corner, and safety. So that's a really cool thing for all these kids down here. That gives them a little extra drive to give it their all, even though it is a scrimmage. There's some awards on the line.
Absolutely, and I think that's a really kind of a good way to reward some of the players that played very well today at this event, and they can get some credit, and I think that's a pretty cool thing to honor those players for their hard work and for their execution. Really good snap, but I think the quarterback for U.S. Grant wasn't exactly paying attention.
No, he wasn't ready for the snap.
He had to pick it up and just run for his life. Capitol Hill defense did a really good job of kind of running him down. He still almost got, I think, positive yards, which was pretty impressive.
He did what he could do in a bad situation.
Again,
made the best
make
of it.
those mistakes here today because they're not a reflection on on your team going forward. But you can watch the film, critique, and make the adjustments, and hopefully get your team to stop making careless mistakes like that.
Yeah.
You're going to see some bad snaps. You're going to see some offsides and illegal formation. We got 1 man in motion. Beautifully ran play by Southeast. Really good misdirection draw up the middle. And we've called games for a long time, Dylan, and it just seems like the offense has continued to get more complicated. With the
really
fakes
have.
And the play changes at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
You see what the defense is giving you. You have the option to audible, change the play, and there may be 4 plays to choose from. Then you've got to relay that information to the rest of the team to let them know what you're playing. Deep ball to U.S. Grant and incomplete, but it was a really good defensive move by that safety for Capitol Hill to save the touchdown being scored by U.S. Grant. So now we've got the Capitol Hill defense coming off the field. Then we've got the Northwest Classen defense running out onto the field, and the Southeast offense is approaching the line of scrimmage. So Southeast against Northwest Classen. I really like this backup quarterback by Southeast, number 6. He really runs a smooth offense. So he's going to run to the right, incomplete pass, well covered by that corner from Northwest Classen.
Yep, nowhere to go with the football. The quarterback saw that there was nothing there, so he just throws it into the turf. Smart play by the quarterback.
Here now it's U.S. Grant's offensive turn again. They're going to get one more playoff before this clock runs out. 4 receivers split. Ball is snapped, fakes the handoff, runs left. I think there was a little bit of a holding there on U.S. Grant, but nothing called, and that quarterback is moving around and is finally gang tackled by the Northwest Class of Knights. Well, he's still
on his feet.
Golly, they called the play dead, obviously, but that's tough running.
Yeah, he looks
for
like
the
he's
US
been
Grant.
hitting the old squat rack. That kid's got some legs on him, and he's an athlete, so I feel like U.S. Grant is going to do their best to utilize him this football season.
Yeah, let's take a little 2-minute break. We're live here on CBS Sports Radio on a 5.3 FM, as well as online at PPBC TV, which is on YouTube, streaming live to the world. Appreciate everybody tuning in and commenting on the stream, and hopefully enjoying this wonderful night of high school football. It is a glorified scrimmage between 9 different teams, but we're glad to be here broadcasting live from Taft Stadium. So we'll be back with more broadcasts, more high school football when we get back here live on CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM, HD1, and PPBC TV on YouTube. We'll be back shortly.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $3,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash up to $3,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
High school football is back on CBS Sports Radio. It's True Grit from the Gridiron. This season, get ready for matchups featuring Bishop McGuinness, Millwood, Midwest City, Heritage Hall, Douglas, John Marshall, Putnam City North, DC West, and the original Putnam City, along with Southeast Northwest Classen, Shawnee, Star Spencer, and Classen SAS. So let these games begin. It's high school football served all season long. Sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony's. You can listen on your radio, and you can watch all the games on PPBC TV. Download the app today. We are live in local sports. CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your dentist. Do me a favor and feel the front of your teeth. How grimy are they? Ugh. It's time for a Crest Pro Health reality checkup. That grime is the buildup of plaque bacteria that can cause cavities in just months. You need to switch to Crest Pro Health. While most toothpaste stop working in minutes, Crest Pro Health's antibacterial fluoride protects for up to 12 hours to stop cavities before they start. So pick some up on the way home. Smile. Crest has you covered.
Real talk drives real change, using the building blocks of today to create a better tomorrow. Black culture drives the conversation. Now we're using our impact to reclaim the future. This year's series begins in Baltimore on August 29th and concludes in North Carolina on November 14th. For our first stop, join Chevrolet and Urban One for a discussion on black futures, leveraging artificial intelligence within the black community. Learn more at change.newsone.com. Real talk drives real change. Fully charged by Chevrolet.
And we are back. The ACAC Conference High School Previews presented by SSM Health and St. Anthony's, as well as our friends over there at Super Prep, which does a great job of following high school athletics in the state of Oklahoma, high school athletes, and really putting a spotlight on everything they're trying to do in all the accomplishments. So, if you want to get in the know with high school football, basketball, baseball, you name it, anything sports related in the state of Oklahoma, you need to follow Super Prep on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever it's called now, X, I guess. But
I can't keep up with it,
Super
man.
Prep does a great job of just following high school athletics and their athletes and putting a spotlight on everything they've been able to accomplish. So really good stuff. Our other sponsors for this broadcast is Dick's Sporting Goods, Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation, and, of course, us here at CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM. I'm Jay Swick. To my right is Dylan Tribble. I want to thank Dwayne Doolittle and crew for their earlier broadcast. There's been a lot of moving parts here today. We've got 9 teams and 1 football field, so a lot of misdirection, offenses and defenses interchanging, changing, every play for the most part. So it is kind of difficult to broadcast, but we're here doing our best. And it's been kind of an eye-opening experience. I love the format. It makes sense. It gives you a lot of different opportunities to face off against each other in different ways.
Yeah, get different looks from different teams. That's a great experience, and they're going to dive into this film tomorrow and kind of pick it apart and get ready for the regular season.
And there's been some really good plays. Elijah Green, class in SAS, has really stepped up and showcased his athletic ability.
That dude is real. He's legit.
And we've seen, okay, well, that's why he's a Division I football player.
Yep.
Or at least right now he is. He's committed to Tulsa. I'm sure there may be some more schools added to that list. He is committed, but there will be more and more schools interested in his ability to play football after this season. Absolutely, things can change.
That tight end from Washington just decommitted from
Notre Dame, and he's green-lighted to go to OU. Nothing's official, but you know how I learned about that?
Super Prep Live.
Yep, shout out to Miles Perry. Does a great job over there. Real quick, I wanted to talk about Damon Turner, head coach of the Douglas Trojans. This is his first year at this school as the head coach. Last year he was an assistant at Edmond Santa Fe. Very successful at what he does, and he's supposed to bring some of that success to the Douglas program. I know a lot of the Trojan faithful, alumni and so forth, are very excited about what he's going to bring to the table this year. He runs that spread offense, multiple formations. They've got a junior offensive lineman that's really good, Davian Nash, 6'2", 240. They run the 4-2-5 base defense. Look for Gary Smith, senior linebacker, 6'3", 200 pounds, will also play tight end for the Douglas Trojans. He's here today competing. I'm eager to talk with Damon Turner before the season starts and get an idea of what to expect this season. So right now we've got the simulated game, Western Heights offense against Southeast defense. Hands off to number 5, and I'm not sure why.
the play was stopped.
Okay, I was going to say because the safety
Southeast
didn't
move at
all.
Yeah.
Okay, the play call was whistled dead. And so you've got coaches kind of communicating that to his players. I was wondering why, the nickel back out there by Southeast was just standing still while the running back was running at him. But the play call was dead. So, again, Western Heights, very interesting season this year with the addition of new head coach J.D. Runnels, who knows a thing or two about football. He
definitely does.
Had an illustrious career at the University of Oklahoma, opening up holes for Adrian Peterson. But J.D. Runnels also played NFL football for the Chicago Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's now taken over this program as head coach for Western Heights, and I think that's a great situation. And sneaky, they've got some athletes that maybe some people haven't heard about, but if you follow J.D. Runnels online, you'll start to hear about different players that are standing out. Senior wide receiver Keyshawn Terrell Randall. They've got a really good running back, Ben Sparks. Also, their quarterback, Nick Holmes. They've got some players to build around now. It's just about staying healthy and executing and playing mistake-free football and playing solid defense.
No doubt.
It's just that simple.
It is that simple. I actually got to watch JD win a few state championships when I was a kid. He played with my cousin over at Carl Albert, and they won 3 straight for the first time ever at Carl Albert, and they kind of set the tone for that program going forward, and now we see what they've done all these years later. And he looks to kind of bring that mentality here to Western Heights. Only time will tell what happens. But like we said, if anybody can get this thing turned around, it's J.D. Runnels.
Right. And so we've got the Western Heights offense in right now, Southeast Spartan defense lining up for an offensive play for Western Heights. 4-3 defense, 4-man up front, 3 linebackers. Got 4 defensive backs, 2 corners, 2 safeties. Shotgun formation, ball is snapped, quarterback drops back, well protected, goes deep, has a man open, completed. If he had stayed in bounds, it would have, golly,
he had
that's a
1
miss.
foot in bounds, but I think he was bobbling the football as he was going out of bounds, so it's going to be incomplete.
And that's just kind of a missed opportunity for Western Heights.
He was wide open.
He was wide open.
As
If he
open as
can
it's
just
ever
keep
gonna
that
get.
play in bounds, he's going to walk into the end zone. So that's something they're going to watch on film
And now he's
hopefully
limping
correct.
off the field, which is never a good thing.
No, it's not.
He's one of their more athletic kids for Western Heights. And like you said, he's one of those players that has a lot of promise.
I'm really liking the defensive lineman who also plays offensive line for Southeast, Adrian Vargas. He's a player that they really respect and count on heavily as a leader of this team. And he plays with a motor that's pretty impressive. So here we go. We're going to get to see another play from Western Heights against Southeast defense. Ball is snapped, and we've got a play called dead. Coach Runnels is talking to his team. He's upset about something. We've got to make some corrections, guys. You can't make these mistakes when it counts, because today doesn't count necessarily against your record. I mean, everything's on film.
Yep.
And film doesn't lie.
It does not lie. Some film sessions can get pretty rough.
That's true, but
you got to learn from it.
If you can grow from that, I think everything will be all right. Here's the snap. You're going to fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run to the left.
What a
Has some
block
room.
by the running
Cuts
back.
it off, makes another guy miss. Gets down to the 20, and he cuts back inside. Did he step out of bounds? He said he did. That
What a
would have been
play.
a great executed play by that quarterback, showcasing his athleticism, great vision.
It all started, in my opinion, with that block by the running back to get the sideline open for the QB, and then the running back continues to run down the field with them and keep blocking. Just really impressed by the running back for Western Heights.
And so they're on the 11-yard line. This is the simulated matchup here. Western Heights have 4 receivers split, 2 on each side. Ball is snapped. Quarterback drops, throws to the corner, has a man open, and goes up and gets it. Touchdown, Western Heights Jets. What a really good executed play, just pitch and catch.
Great
Pitch
ball
and catch.
thrown by the quarterback and the receiver. I can't lie to you, Swick. He just mossed that DB for the tud.
You know, the more I watch this Western Heights offense, the more I respect what they're doing.
They have athletes,
They've
and it's
they've
showing
really
right
done
now
some
in that
good.
first
They've
drive.
made some plays against several teams. Everybody's going to play everybody today. We've got 9 teams here, but there's been several plays made by these Jets players. You got same formation, shotgun, well, really a pistol. You got the running back lined up behind the quarterback, 2 receivers on each side. Ball is snapped. He's going to drop back. Throws almost completed, but right off the fingertips of that wide receiver. Was trying to hit the slot receiver on the inside and threw a bullet in there.
Well thrown football by the quarterback.
I mean, if it hits you in the
Receiver
hands,
just
what do you want
couldn't
him to
come up
do?
with the catch.
You know?
Exactly.
That's all you can do. So pretty
I'm
good
sure
series by the Western
he's gonna
Heights
hear
Jets
about
there.
that drop from his receivers coach.
Right. So Southeast defense coming off the field, and Western Heights offense is still going to say no. Western Heights defense, I think, is out on the field now.
Yeah.
And so Southeast is going to send their offense out.
You know what our coach made us do if we dropped a football during practice, Swick?
What's that?
We had to do 30 clap push-ups
Oh.
for every drop football.
Oh, I don't think I
So
could do that.
we learned our lesson real quick.
Really? Yeah.
Catch football. It's simple.
just catch football, so you don't have to go through that. No doubt about it. Oh, man. Oh, wow. On the other side of the field, I know the camera can't see it, but Northwest Classen just threw a touchdown pass in the corner, and took out the referee at the same time. Great executed play. I know you can't really see it on our stream, but here's the Southeast offense. And they're trying to get lined up here. You got twins to the left, single receiver to the right in the middle of the field. Quarterback fakes the handoff, and it's a bad handoff. It's free ball, and I think that was recovered by Southeast. No, the referee
It was recovered by Western Heights.
Yes, referee signaled Western Heights football. Boy, G.D. Reynolds got these boys playing like it's a game today.
These boys are ready.
Really
and you can
good.
tell that they're hungry. They want to be out there.
I think he's got them hungry.
They want to win.
So that's, the way this is formatted right now at this specific time, Western Heights is going to get the ball and get another opportunity on offense. Southeast defense is back out on the field.
Yeah.
What a play.
The quarterback and running back for Southeast just weren't on the same page at all. The running back was already gone, and the quarterback was looking to hand him the ball, and then the ball goes up in the air, and Western Heights recovered it. Now they're on offense.
Yeah, I know head coach Matt Lane of the Southeast Spartans. He's going to have a conversation with his team, film watching.
Yep.
Probably as early as tomorrow. And, again, their first game is September 1st. They're taking on the Douglas Trojans to start the season. Here's a quick little out throw to the running back in the flats. He's gotten a significant chunk of yard, about 6-7 yards, before he's brought down by the Southeast Spartan defenders.
Really good blocking by the Western Heights receivers out there on the top of the field to allow their teammate to pick up those positive yards.
And this is such a kind of a difficult offense to defend because they're spread out so much and there's so much room to move.
A lot of open field to operate.
That you've got to be able to pursue the ball carrier. Once you get there, make the tackle. It limits the amount of gang tackling. A lot of time there may be just one defender there ready to make the play, and it's tough. It's tough. Nice run up the middle for Western Heights.
It's going to be a false start on Western Heights.
So that's going to be brought back. Hey, make the mistakes now. Make the mistakes now so you can not make them in the regular season games. I know that's very, very important. Again, our sponsor for this broadcast, SSM Health at St. Anthony's. Let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital help people get moving again. Call for an appointment today at 405-218-2530. That's 218-2530. And they're trying to get the spot of the ball place. That's going to bring it back because of the false start and put them in a little bit of a less fortunate position for Western Heights offense. Southeast running that four-man front, lined up pretty close together. We'll see if there's any room to run. Two receivers split on each side. Ball is snapped, looks to throw. Across the middle, misses the receiver, kind of overthrows it a little bit, but it was probably good overthrow, Dylan.
Yeah, because the cornerback jumped the route. He was there to make a play on the football. Would have been an easy pick, but that ball sailed a little high.
In that scenario, an incompletion is way more valuable than a pick six.
Exactly.
So
there was nothing but green grass ahead of that man.
Right, and number 3 of Southeast did a great job of reading that play, making a play. If that ball's thrown, correctly, it's probably a pick six. Here we go. Same formation, two receivers on each side, pistol formation. We may have another false start. No, they're going to hand it off to the running back, to the bounces out to the right side, gets the first. Still on his feet, may cut up. Is he going to get it in the end zone? Yes, he is. Western Heights with a nice 40-yard rush for a touchdown right there. That running back just cutting them up. Really good play by number 5, and that's Derek Washington. He's just a freshman, Dylan.
Wow.
That's just a freshman running back. You got to be excited about that.
A lot of promise in that 15-year-old kid for Western Heights. And once again, great blocking on the outside by his O-line and receivers.
So today we're not going to do any extra points, and we're not going to kick any field goals. We're not going to punt. It's all about offense and defense. Good on good today. Ball is snapped, bad snap. Quarterback's able to get it. Throw it in the corner, overthrows the receivers wide open. just put too much air under it.
Yeah, he had to throw it high because there was a defender in front of the receiver. 2-point conversion, no good. Nonetheless, Western Heights has scored 2 touchdowns already tonight at the All-City preview.
And they forced that fumble to get the ball back to score, again. So
exactly.
We'll see what happens. Southeast offense is out on the field. Western Heights defense taking their turn right now. And we'll see how this plays out. There is no clock. I'm not sure, when everyone kind of understands, okay, it's over, or if they keep going. We're going to be here until it's over. We can tell you that.
Yes, sir.
So on the south side of the field, and you can't see it, is Northwest Classen. And I believe that's Star Spencer.
That is the Star Spencer Bobcats.
So they're preparing to go through their highlighted scrimmage on the south side of the field. But right now we're focused on Southeast against Western Heights. So Southeast offense gets the snap, hands off, gets through that first line of defense, and gets about 6 yards. We've got a flag on the play here, though, and could be holding. He got through that first level pretty well.
There was a hold on the Southeast Spartans that's coming right back.
Yeah, and that's, this is obviously, and we've said it time and time again, an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to face off against somebody else other than your own teammates. And I think you learn so much here in this format at the All-Cities All-Conference previews. And it's basically a tradition. It's been around here in the Oklahoma City area for decades. And I'm pretty impressed with the crowd. Nice crowd here. Here's the play. Southeast going to go deep. Puts it up in the air. Who's going to make a play? And it's Southeast wide receiver. Oh, no.
He dropped it.
Oh, it looked like he brought it in.
He had it in the basket. I think one of those Western Heights Jets got in there and made him work for that catch.
I see Samaj Sanders is in there, the junior cornerback for Western Heights, 6'3", 180. He was in the mix making that stop. And Coach Reynolds is talking to his team, complimenting them.
Gotta love an active
play.
coach like J.D. Reynolds.
He's all over the field.
The kids feed off of that energy.
No doubt.
It starts with the head coach, and J.D. is doing phenomenal so far.
So we've got the Southeast Spartan offense huddling it up, calling the play, and the Western Heights defense going to come off the field and maybe switch sides. We'll see what happens here. In fact, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and get the rest of this scrimmage underway. There's 9 teams here today competing in the All-City All-Conference football previews live from Taft Stadium. Appreciate everybody tuning in. This broadcast is brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony's and, of course, our friends over at Super Prep. Also sponsoring our broadcast is Dick's Sporting Goods, as well as Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation and our good friends at CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM. I think it's pretty much a wrap, at least for tonight, between Western Heights and Southeast. They're shaking their hands, and it looks like that's the conclusion of that specific part. So
a lot of positive things come out of that mini game right there for the Western Heights Jets.
Right. Let's take a 60-second timeout, and we'll be back. More football here from the All-City Athletic Previews High School Football here on Live on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM HD1.
Up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Kansas City Chiefs football is here. KINB 105.3 FM, HD1. Kingfisher, Oklahoma City, a Perry broadcasting station.
And we are back. The ACAC Conference Previews. High school football live from Taft Stadium here in the heart of Oklahoma City. Broadcast is brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony's and Super Prep on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. They do a great job of highlighting all the moments throughout high school athletics here in the state of Oklahoma, as well as their athletes and their accomplishments. And you can get score updates and who's committed where and all kinds of great information to stay in the know regarding high school sports in the state of Oklahoma. I encourage you to give them a follow. Our friends over there at Super Prep. Jay Swick and Dylan Tribble in the press box here. We are announcing the previews. Like I said, a lot of moving parts right now, and I still think we've got a little bit more football to be played. We just watched kind of a simulated scrimmage between Southeast and Western Heights, and a lot of good takeaways for Western Heights. I feel like they got better today.
They really did, and it all starts with the head coach. JD had them focused going into the scrimmage tonight, and it showed. And now I got to say, Southeast, they struggled a little bit, but like you said, they can learn from this. It's not the season, so they need to learn from those mistakes that happened down there tonight and move on and get better for the real ones that count.
That's right, and so we've got, I believe this is U.S. Grant, the Generals.
I think John Marshall is going to come out on offense against U.S. Grant.
Okay, and over on the far south side of the field, you've got Class and SAS taking on the Capitol Hill Red Wolves. And so we'll see how that plays out here momentarily. Both teams are warming up and then go through their simulation. U.S. Grant, I want to talk about them real quick. Alex Levacy is the head coach. This is his 7th year as head coach, and their first game is September 1st against Northwest Classen. They've got some seniors on the team that I'm really impressed with. Alex Hernandez is an offensive lineman that's going to be leaned on as far as from a leadership standpoint and directing traffic as well. I'm sure he's going to be a captain of that team. You've got a couple senior offensive players, Raymond Hayes, wide receiver and cornerback. Then you've got senior H-back and tight end, Sam Aguirre. You know, they run that 4-3 base defense. Carlos Rivero's another player on that defense that I really respect for U.S. Grant. We'll see what kind of season they have this year. Hopefully it's a lot better than last year. They really struggled, but I think that they're going to be better than last year. John Marshall, we were talking about them earlier as well. Coach Malcolm Mack in his first year, their first game's next Thursday at Lawton to take on the Wolves. So hopefully if, John Marshall can get better today and learn a few things about themselves and be able to execute really well against Lawton, because that's going to be a tough game.
Yes, it's going to be a tough game. It's always tough going down and playing one of those Lawton schools at Cameron College. That's a tough field. My sophomore year, we went down there, and they still had the old carpet AstroTurf. It was horrible.
Right.
It's like a concrete slab
I played on it
with a little tiny bit of
I played on it,
AstroTurf.
and I tell you what, I didn't sleep that night because I had burns all over my body.
Yeah.
We played Lawton MacArthur my senior year there, and it was – I was basically wearing basketball shoes, Dylan.
Yeah, that's what I wore.
There was
with sneakers.
no grass.
Nope.
It's just
It's like carpet.
It's like outdoor carpet.
Yep.
And if you slid making a tackle, guess what? Your forearms
everywhere
are just, and you can't sleep on it. Impressive stuff. We got Class and SAS on the on the south side of the field. I don't think our cameras pointed that way. We've kind of been all over the place because there's so much going on. But right now we've got U.S. Grant on offense and the John Marshall defense on the north side of the field, and that's where we're going to focus on right now. And they're trying to get the ball spotted and the chain gang crew. This is a simulated match for 12 minutes. And they want to give them as close to a game day experience as possible so they can be prepared for when the season starts. John Marshall's first game. Now, we talked about that at Lawton, and then U.S. Grant is against Northwest Classen on September 1st. Here's U.S. Grant. Gets the ball snapped, out route to the slot back, completed for about a 4-yard gain. But I tell you what, John Marshall, cornerback, laid the wood on that play.
He sure did. Great break on the ball by that corner from John Marshall. Only gave up 2 yards on the play. Now it's going to be 2nd and long for
I thought
US
they
Grant.
spotted him a little short on that play. I mean, this is, a kind of a refresher for the referees as well.
It sure is.
So
referees aren't perfect, so this is a night of work for the refs as well as the players.
Right, and U.S. Grant is running a shotgun offense. Yeah, I'm telling you. Sorry, people are talking in the background, and I guess they don't really care that we're doing a broadcast here.
By the John Marshall Bears, there's about 4 of them that just stuffed that hole. U.S. Grant maybe got a yard. So John Marshall is starting out pretty stout on the defensive side of the football.
I'm looking at John Marshall's schedule. Golly, they've got a
brutal,
front-loaded schedule. They go to Lawton next Thursday. Then they take on Bethany. Bethany had a great year last year. Then they take on Heritage Hall. Then after that, the 4th game is against Clinton. So get ready. Buckle up. It's definitely a front-loaded schedule for John Marshall, and they got to be ready to play. Here's U.S. Grant, fakes the handoff. Quarterback tries to take it himself, and he's knocked down silly by that linebacker from John Marshall. And really good persistence and penetration from that defensive line. Didn't fall for the fake at all.
They sure didn't. I'll tell you what, the John Marshall Bears are just flying around on defense right now. Big hits. I mean, they've gave up 2 yards.
I think we've got a banged-up player here for John Marshall. And
we sure do. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, the training camp, the training team, the trainers.
I hope it's just a cramp, honestly.
Right. And it could be because it's been hot as heck here lately, and it's only going to get hotter the next few days.
And these kids are still working on getting in football shape.
It's a difference. You can run your run sprints and your stairs and get as prepared as you can, which is always a good thing. But it's just different when you got the pads on and you're colliding with one another, and there's all kinds of hits and then get back up. I mean, it's
game shape is just different.
It is, and you can only get in that type of shape by playing football, and that's what they're doing here today. Let's take a quick 60-second timeout, and we'll come back and assess what happened to the young player, and we'll be right back. You're listening to the ACAC Conference Previews, high school football. Brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony's and Super Prep. And we are broadcasting live on the PPBC TV on YouTube and CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM, HD1. We'll be back.
Radio has evolved to meet the needs of our community. More than 80 million listeners depend on AM radio each month. It's also the backbone of the emergency alert system, keeping us safe in dangerous times. A new bill in Congress would ensure this free, reliable service remains in cars. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to support the AM radio for every vehicle act.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
And we are back, ACAC High School Football Previews, the glorified scrimmage here from Taft Stadium. And we have an incompletion by John Marshall's quarterback. It looked like he kind of twisted his ankle there for a minute, Dylan.
Yeah, I think one of the defenders was coming in for the tackle, and the quarterback stepped on something and tweaked the ankle a little bit. But he's going to be all right. He's going to stay out there and play.
We're broadcasting live on PPBC TV, which is on YouTube. Make sure you log on and subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss out on any of the high school football broadcasts that we're bringing you this fall. Like I said, we're here at Taft Stadium, and we got 9 teams competing here in this glorified scrimmage. So multiple angles, miniature simulated games on both ends of the field. But it's live action football, and you can't blame them for enjoying that and getting ready for the season. There's several teams here that their season starts next week, and then for the other half, 2 weeks away. So either way, I think it's a great opportunity for these schools to just get football ready and get in football shape and get ready to go, and hopefully work the kinks out today. Make the mistakes today, don't make them tomorrow type atmosphere. So that's what they're trying to accomplish and feel each other out. So this is good. Currently, John Marshall offense is on the field, and the quarterback overthrows the wide receiver who's out in the flats. Now, he was behind the quarterback, so that's technically a lateral.
Yeah, I think it was.
And that play was still alive, and that's why the defense was hustling so hard to get to the football, because that looked like a live ball to me.
And he's lucky there wasn't a defender around, or else they would have picked up that fumble and probably took it to the end zone.
Yeah.
I know they wouldn't have scored because it's a scrimmage, but in a real game would have been an easy touchdown if there was a defender in the area.
That's right. That's right. And so you've got the first team, second team, third team. It's kind of all over the place in terms of the matchups. But everybody's getting some run. Everybody's getting an opportunity to play. And there's, as you can see, a really bad snap by the center went right over the quarterback's head. And, again, make those mistakes today. Learn from them. Don't make them tomorrow.
Yep.
That's the point of this whole experience. And previews have been a tradition here in the state of Oklahoma for a very long time here locally. And
they sure have.
I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm Jay Swick, Dylan Tribble to my right. I will be back on the air tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, on this station, CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM, HD1 for the morning rush. We'll kind of recap everything that we've seen today. And we've seen a lot with 9 teams interchanging and playing against everybody. Everybody's getting a taste of everybody.
You're exactly
today.
right.
And that's what's it's a great experience. And you see a lot of different things from every single team. So it's kind of a cool experience, especially if you're a spectator in the stands. And U.S. Grant is, I believe this is their second or third string offense, but I'm not exactly sure, but they're kind of struggling right now, trying to execute, and it's as simple as just getting a proper snap off and getting the play ran correctly.
I'll tell you what, that John Marshall D-line, both possessions, they have just been penetrating the offensive line of U.S. Grant. They've been in the backfield the entire time, busting plays, blowing up the quarterback. I mean, they're playing phenomenal so far.
Yeah, they've got some guys, and I think, Coach Mack isn't just going to join a team just to coach. I mean, he has to like what he sees. Ooh, great defensive play by John Marshall.
They are flying.
Rips that ball out of the ball carrier.
That's great coaching right there.
Made a play that causes the turnover by number 5 of the John Marshall Bears, and now we've got a hurt U.S. Grant General on the field. He looks to be cramping up a bit, and that's been kind of the theme tonight because the humidity's high, it's hot. Early September or late August, early September, still in the dog days of summer.
No doubt about that.
And so it takes a lot out of you, but if anything, you get in game shape and get more prepared, ready to go once week 1 starts. And for many of the teams, they start next week. SSM Health at St. Anthony, one of our title sponsors. I want to let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health, the Bone and Joint Hospital, help people get moving again. Call for an appointment today at 405-218-2530. That's 218-2530. And our other sponsors for this broadcast is Dick's Sporting Goods, Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation, Oklahoma City CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM. We're broadcasting live on the radio as well as on the stream on YouTube, PPBC TV, which I encourage everybody to subscribe to this year. But glad to be back, calling games with you,
Feels
Dylan.
good to be back,
Year number
my
3
friend.
for us, right?
Season 3 for Jay Swick and myself, Dylan
We
Tribble
ended with
on
a
the
bang
mic.
on basketball last spring.
2 years in a row.
Golly.
We're 2 for 2. First year together, Edmond North wins the ship, and we're there for it. Last year, Douglas wins the ship, and we're there for that. So we're 2 for 2 as far as basketball goes.
Yeah, and being that it's football season, we're ready to get after it. I think it's going to be a pretty spectacular year of high school football. Beautifully thrown pass by the John Marshall Bears. The U.S. Grant General defense having a hard time bringing down that wide receiver. Now over on the south side of the field, I know the camera's not on there, but I saw Elijah of Classen SAS, make a beautiful touchdown catch. That was pretty incredible to see Elijah Green doing that. He's committed to the University of Tulsa. All right, so here's another offensive play for the John Marshall Bears. 3 wide receivers, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. 2 running backs. They're going to hand off to make the running back draw right up the middle, and it's a great defensive play by U.S. Grant. That linebacker made the play. Got past that offensive line, shed that block, and made a good tackle there.
He sure did. Great wrap, and he finished the tackle well for a loss. I think it was about a half a yard or a yard loss. They got to stand firm here because John Marshall's already in the red zone on about the 15-yard line.
Yep, you're exactly right. Let's see. So they're going to get right back to the line of scrimmage and basically flip it. Now you have 2 wide receivers on the left side, 1 on the right. Ball is snapped, drops back, throws to the corner of the end zone, incomplete. U.S. Grant General defender was trying to make a play, but the ball was thrown too far out of bounds. Otherwise, that's probably an interception.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that was the quarterback's best option, was to throw it out of bounds because his receiver was being double covered on the play.
Yeah. And so, because we don't really know if it's second down, third down, fourth down, and that sort of thing, because this is – just a glorified scrimmage, so they're going to get right back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers left, handoff up the middle, and he was untouched for 5 or 6 yards before
he sure
he's
was
brought down. And he's going to be close to the goal line. I think he's 2 yards shy. But if you're U.S. Grant, you got to be prepared for a run up the middle here because that was way too easy.
Yeah, it worked well, and now it's going to be first down and goal for John Marshall. So like you said, why not run the football when you just had a lot of success on the previous play?
So they got them to jump off sides. Hard count by the John Marshall Bears offense. Drew that defense off sides. Now they're half the distance. Now they're even closer to the goal line. Great strategy by John Marshall and in U.S.
It's going to be
it's an off start. It's false start.
Bears.
Okay, I digress then. I digress. I thought that's a wonderful opportunity to get a free couple yards.
No doubt about it.
That's going to cost the John Marshall Bears. Ball is snapped. Hands off again. No, he's faked the handoff. Quarterback's going to run, and he gets in the end zone for a John Marshall touchdown. That's big time for them. They have such a tough first 4 games. It's important to, gain a little confidence.
Get some meaningful
before
reps
the season
tonight
starts.
in this scrimmage.
Yeah.
It could go a long way for you coming up in the regular season.
And I don't know if there was a flag on that play for some. They're going right back to the line of scrimmage.
2-point conversion.
Oh, okay. Duh. There we go.
Yeah, no field
of course.
goals.
Yeah, there's no extra points here tonight. Ball is snapped, drops back. Quarterback's got time. Throws to the corner. Touchdown. John Marshall. Or I'm sorry, 2-point conversion is good.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And they are on the board now.
Well
John
played.
Marshall's up 8-0 against U.S. Grant Generals.
Yeah, that's a really good thing there, and a well-executed play. And I know Malcolm Mack is going to enjoy talking about that set of downs offensively. As long as, they did have the offside, so you got to be concerned a little bit there. But Malcolm Mack is making this team better tonight here at the ACAC previews. On the far side of the field, again, I don't know if the camera guy, we can't really see where we're at right here, but he's kind of moving all over the place. That's going to conclude the simulated game for John Marshall and U.S. Grant. And I still think you're going to have –
we got a couple more at least because Douglas is over there warming up.
They're warming up over there, and then you've got South – is that Southeast?
That's Southeast. Star Spencer's taking their pads off. They may be done for the night.
Yeah, I think that's the case. We'll see here momentarily. Let's take a 60-second commercial break. We'll be right back. The All-City, All-Conference high school football previews tonight. Taft Stadium broadcast brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony's and Super Prep here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM, HD1, and broadcasted live and streamed on PPBC TV on our YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Protection breaks down. Michelle slings it late. Diving catch made. Touchdown! Kansas City! Esbuchel does a little Mahomes impersonation.
This Saturday night, the Chiefs preseason continues against the Arizona Cardinals at State Farm Stadium. Pregame starts at 6 right here on your home for Kansas City Chiefs football.
Kansas City Chiefs football lives here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 HD1.
Hello, this is...
And we're back. All-City Athletic Conference high school football previews live from Taft Stadium here in the heart of Oklahoma City. Got 9 teams practicing here tonight. Well, it's a glorified scrimmage between everybody. Everybody's going to play everybody tonight in just a very short game setting. And a few teams are done, and we still got a few teams left here to go. The Douglas Trojans are warming up, and you've got the Southeast Spartans over there warming up as well. We've seen some really, really good football tonight. A lot of teams are getting better, and at the same time, a lot of teams are making mistakes, but you make them here tonight. That way you can improve on them and be ready to go by the time your season opener kicks off, and you got a few of the teams start next week, and then the rest are starting 2 weeks from now and in early September. But we are just excited to be here broadcasting this event. This is a tradition that's been going on for decades now.
It has.
And
I told my mom we were
event.
doing this broadcast last night, and she informed me that this was going on when she was in high school in the 70s.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's just a great way to prepare these young teams to for the upcoming season. Helps them get into football shape.
Exactly.
And it feels good to hit somebody else other than your teammate. And they're getting that opportunity tonight. So really, really good stuff. But I'm Jay Swick, Dylan Tribble. We're broadcasting for CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM, as well as online streaming, PPBC TV. All right, make sure you get on YouTube and subscribe to our channel, PPBC TV. And once you subscribe, you'll never miss any action, at least from our end, on the games that we're going to be broadcasting this football season. Very excited about it, and it's going to be pretty awesome. And we've seen some great moments here today. There's been several entertaining moments and players making plays left and right. Somebody that's really been outstanding today is Elijah Green for class in SAS. They look pretty good. They look like they got some
why he's a
D1
football player.
There's so Western Heights has been pretty athletic today. I've been pretty impressed with what Coach J.D. Runnels has put together, got his team to execute today, and he's been able to do that in such a short amount of time. He's in his first year. Harold Smith, head coach of the Star Spencer Bobcats, I think their night is done, but they've really made some headway this year. You've got new head coach Damon Turner of the Douglas Trojans, directing traffic right now as we speak. And I tell you what, I will say this. I would like a pair of orange shoes just like all the coaches out there. You always know where Douglas is at.
Myself as an OSU alum.
You can tell where Douglas is at all times because all the coaches have the bright orange, the Douglas orange, the Trojan orange.
Those are sweet, man.
They're pretty nice. So they're getting together, and right now I think we're seeing the Southeast Spartan defense out on the field as we get underway under this simulated part of the scrimmage. And I think that's the Douglas. We'll see who's on offense and defense here coming up shortly, but I think it's going to be between Douglas and Southeast here right now. So we'll see how this plays out. But Southeast, I think their defense is out there preparing, and Southeast has some interesting player. Brandon O'Connor had 2 sacks last year, and he's going to take on a bigger role on that defense this year for the Spartans, and I'm sure we'll see his sack numbers increase. He's gotten bigger, faster, stronger in the offseason. Coach Matt Lane's been very complimentary of his work ethic and his leadership this year for Southeast as we approach the season. And the Douglas Trojan offense underway, shotgun formation. They're moved to a spread offense. Normally, Douglas has been all
I formation.
All I formation. I'm just going to run it down your throat. Now they're going a different route with head coach Damon Turner implementing a new style of offense, and they're kind of learning it on the fly. They've been preparing by themselves in the offseason, but nothing prepares you better than live action like we're seeing here tonight. So
you just don't see many teams run I formation anymore.
Yeah. So they're running the spread, shotgun formation, 2 receivers on each side, double tight. Ball is snapped. They're going to hand off to the running back who takes a kind of a bad angle, but the
nowhere to go.
Southeast Spartan defense just got penetration, made the play in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, they blew that play up, and leading the way was number 51 for Southeast.
Good sign for the Spartans. You want to see them kind of control that line of scrimmage. Usually the winner of the game controls the line of scrimmage, right?
Yes.
I mean, most of the time you see that.
Like you said, most of the time the game is won in the trenches.
Yeah, and on that play specifically, Southeast kind kind of dominated. Now, there is a little bit of, of a class difference. Southeast is 5A.
They are, and Douglas is 4A.
Douglas is 3A.
Oh, they changed. They're 4A last year in football.
Yeah,
they're
3A.
Basketball when we covered them.
So, but here we go. Douglas makes a play. Beautiful pass and catch. Makes up the difference of that loss of yards from the previous play. And they complete a pass for about a 14-yard gain. That was beautifully executed, and that's what you want to see if you're Coach Turner.
Yep, quarterback got the ball out of his hands really quick into the hands of his playmaker, the receiver on the outside, and the chains are moved. So we got a new set of downs for Douglas.
That's right, and the Trojans getting right back to the line of scrimmage. They've relayed the play to the teammates. Twins to the wide side of the field, one receiver to the short side. Maybe a botched snap. The ball's on the ground, but it's recovered by the Douglas quarterback to avoid the turnover. But a really good fake because that running back sold it. He sold the fake, but the ball was on the ground. It was just maybe a bad exchange.
I think it was a read option, and he didn't. The quarterback was kind of trying to hold it until the last second, and the time that he was holding it gave Southeast defenders time to get there, and the whole play was just blown up in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss for Douglas.
Yeah, you're going to see a whole lot more RPO plays for the Douglas Trojans, the run-pass option. Ball is snapped. He did end up handing it off to the running back, but he stifled at the line of scrimmage. As a matter of fact, I think that's going to be a loss. And
I think
Southeast,
he fumbled the football.
Southeast said, no, he gave up the football. We're going to take it. And that was a great play by that defense. Number 6 there. Pretty
that
impressive.
Is a stout
by the Spartans.
Yeah, my goodness.
Yeah. All right, so let's see.
I think the runner was down before the football was fumbled, so Douglas is going to keep it. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Okay, shotgun formation. It's 2 receivers to the short side, 1 receiver to the wide side. Ball is snapped. Quarterback drops back. He's got one. He took a nice hit, but he got rid of the ball, overthrew it. And I think he was forced into making that throw a little early because he saw that defender coming off the blind side.
Yep.
And smacked him real good.
Sure
you never
did.
want to see your quarterbacks take hits like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, the D-line definitely made his presence known on that play. And on the back end, great coverage by Southeast Spartans. They're going to force Douglas into a 4th and long situation. It's a scrimmage, so you might as well go for it. Nothing to lose here.
All right, so they've kind of been going the wrong way. They're in backwards here. Ball snap, bootleg to the right, trying to avoid the defender and can't. What a sack by that defensive end / outside linebacker, the edge rusher, number 2 for Southeast Spartans, made the play. And there was nowhere for that quarterback to run.
Nowhere
he took
to
a great
run,
angle.
Nowhere to hide. You can tell he has practiced that angle of pursuit, and that's a drill you do. And it showed on that play. Southeast looking really stout on defense so far. Other than that one pass play to the outside for 10 yards, I don't think Southeast gave up another yard this whole series.
No, they're going to flip the sides, and so now the Southeast offense will take on the Douglas defense. And you've got 3 receivers on the left side, one to the – no, I'm sorry. Is this a 5-receiver split? Okay, hands off to the H-back, cuts up the field, dodges one tackle. Is going to be pushed out of bounds, forced out of bounds. It was a good, solid run by that Southeast running back. Number 2 has got some strength. He's the one that made the sack, and now they give him the football on offense.
Smart decision by the coach to give that man the football. He's an aggressive player. He just ran through 2 defenders on that play, and he would have kept running if it wasn't for the out-of-bounds line.
All right, so
they're going to give him a breather.
Right back to the line of scrimmage. And let's see, 4 receivers split, 2 on each side. Empty set, shotgun. Ball is snapped. Quarterback drops back, looking to throw. Might take it himself. He's going to try, And he's spinning, but the Douglas Trojan defense is right there to break him down. And they get a short gain, about 4 or 5 yards possibly. So they're making headway. But
nice little gain.
That Douglas defense kind of avoided the big play here. And if anything, this is great game action. And
for both teams.
Right. You can learn a lot. No matter what happens today, it's not going to go against your record. But it does give valuable film for you and your team to improve on.
No doubt about that.
Shotgun formation, 3 receivers split, 1 man in motion. That slot's moving on the other side. Thought they were going to give him the jet sweep, sort of a misdirection. They gave it to a different running back for a short gain. And Douglas defense was right there to plug the hole and limit the amount of room to run in.
Yep, you're right about that. That D lineman, it looked like the tackle on the defensive line for Douglas just stood his ground and ate up that run play.
That's right. And then you've got, the coaching staff relaying plays to the team. Here's a jet sweep right there, and beautiful tackle by the Douglas Trojan, number 5. What a really good tackle. Douglas runs that 4-2-5 base defense. They're really excited about a freshman this year at Douglas. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. It's Chris Harris.
I wonder if he plays basketball.
Well, I'm sure he probably will play any sport he wants.
You're right.
We'll
Valid
see.
Point.
We'll see. But he is on the football team, and they're just excited about his ability. Really raw athlete. Trying to get him some experience. And we've got some flags on the play. Play's dead, so we've got a false start. I believe that's going to be on Southeast. And, got to make those corrections because they're going to set you back once the real games get underway, starting either next week or the week after. So let me look at South. Let's see. This is funny because Douglas and Southeast are scrimmaging against each other right now at the ACAC high school previews, but they also play each other for the first game of the season.
Are you serious?
Yes. September 1st. These are the two teams that will be competing against each other. And deep throw and batted down. Douglas, the defender, defensive back, batted down the pass. Otherwise, that receiver had an opportunity to catch and score. But you can't score if you can't catch it.
Exactly. Great play on the ball by the Douglas defense. The quarterback tried to fit that into a really tight window. Just didn't work out in the Trojans' favor. And now it looks like we're going to be swapping sides again. So these teams are going to know each other really, really well going into week 1 when they play each other again.
Right.
That's very interesting.
And it will be for real.
You would think that
it's going to count.
Yeah.
So Douglas offense back out on the field. Now we've got the Southeast defense. I believe this may be this last series. We'll see. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Ball is snapped. Quarterback goes. He's got some time. Throws. Out route. They throw a flag. It's incomplete. Hit the receiver in the hands. But
I think the defender was there a little bit too early. Yeah, it looked like a pass
too much contact
call. No doubt about that one, Swick.
Yeah, too much contact. And, I think it's okay if the crews are a little bit picky because you just want to make sure you can – you want to give them the best case scenario. They're almost, I guess you could say, the worst case scenario. There's always room for improvement, but you got to prepare for things like that and realize you never know what kind of, if this referee crew is picky, maybe these other guys are not. You got to be prepared for the most pickiest, officials possible. We'll see, but let's see.
That's going to be offsides on the Southeast Spartans. That D tackle jumped the gun a little too early, so Douglas has just got 15 cheap yards. First a pass interference, and now a offsides on the Spartan defense.
So that's going to
– it's a free 15 yards right there.
That's right. You see the difference. Shout out to everybody watching this broadcast on PPBC TV on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the high school action this year. Ooh, beautiful misdirection run, but can't get any room. Can't find daylight. Well played defensive play by Southeast to just limit the room to run.
Yeah, that was actually the safety from Southeast that flew all the way downfield to
and
make
everybody
that
took
tackle.
care of their gap. You know,
sure
everybody
did.
did their job, and there just wasn't any room to maneuver, and that running back got tackled for a loss, or actually just kind of brought them back to the original line of scrimmage. So we'll see. I think
that was a 5-yard loss.
Yeah.
And it all started with the D-line making him bounce it outside, and then the safety came out and cleaned it up.
Twin receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, ball is snapped. They're going to delay handoff to the running back on the left side. Now he has to turn around and go right, and he has more room on the right. Gets some yards, got about five made, but the play was designed to go left.
It sure was.
And he made the adjustment, and he made the decision, the executive decision mid-play. There's more room on the right, so let's do that.
Yep.
And it ended up working out. He got chunk yards. It's good for him. Good play by that running back for the Douglas Trojans.
Yeah, he made the best choice possible by coming back to the right because there were tons of blue jerseys in the backfield.
And I think Damon Turner realizes this. I mean, to implement an offense like we're seeing here today is kind of a massive reconstruction, and it's going to take time for the players to catch on. But they're doing well tonight. Running back, beautiful cut upfield to get more yards. Made that defender miss. It wasn't many yards, but it was positive yards, and I think that's important. So we'll see them run another play here momentarily. Southeast is doing their best to kind of follow along and not fall for the fakes here, and just make a conscious effort to see and pursue and make the tackle. It's just that simple.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Discipline, fundamental football. It's as simple as that.
Yep, and still quite a few people here tonight at Taft Stadium. We're approaching almost 9 o'clock here. Yeah, and I think that's the end of our broadcast right here, right? I believe they're going to call the game. They're looking at the
referee's looking at the clock. One
He's
referee just put his hands up like, I don't know.
Started waving.
We're trying to figure this thing out.
I think this is quickly approaching a close. You see some people leaving, so we'll just wait for the official call here tonight. But it's been a wonderful evening of high school football.
I think that one's it. That's it, folks. That's all she wrote.
That's going to be it. You've been listening to the AC Conference High School Football Previews presented by SSM Health at St. Anthony's and Super Prep. I'm Jay Swick, Dylan Tribble, back again this season.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Broadcasting it live. We're looking forward to the start of this game, or I'm sorry, the start of Week 1. Tonight's been a very different event, but a very cool one. When you get 9 teams together and competing the way they did tonight is a very, very cool thing. So make sure you tune in my show tomorrow morning for the Morning Rush on CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM, HD1. Really do appreciate everybody watching online at Stream, or our Stream broadcast, which is PPBC TV, which you need to check out on YouTube. It's really, really a good thing. So, all right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the broadcast. I want to thank our sponsors again, SSM Health at St. Anthony's and Super Prep. They are our title sponsors for the broadcast tonight, and also need to give a big shout-out to our friends at Dick's Sporting Goods and Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation, and, of course, everyone at CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM. Have a great evening. Stay tuned. We'll be back.